Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Monday, April 1st, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $, ORION, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got some basketball. Ooh, we got a good matchup here. Cleveland Guardians versus the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in just about 5 or 6 minutes. Let's cue some music and go over some of the starting lineups. So give me 1 sec here so we can get situated. All right, baby, here we go. And you already know with the thumb, I had to hit you with a little Jose Ramirez. And on the right, my guy, J.P. Crawford. Let's start off with the visiting Cleveland Guardians. Leading off for the Guardians, left fielder Steven Kwan. Batting second in the lineup, second baseman Andres Jimenez. Batting third, playing third base for the Guardians, Jose Ramirez. Batting cleanup and batting fourth, first baseman for Cleveland, Josh Naylor. Batting fifth for Cleveland, playing center field tonight, Tyler Freeman. Batting sixth, DHing for the Guardians, Will Brennan. Batting seventh, playing right field for Cleveland, Ramon Laureano. Batting eighth, catching tonight for Cleveland, Bo Naylor. And batting ninth, playing shortstop, Brian Rocchio. And on the mound for the Guardians, Tristan McKenzie. All right, baby, let's get into the home Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second for Seattle, no fly zone, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Batting third, playing second base for the Mariners, Jorge Polanco. Batting cleanup and batting fourth, right fielder, Mitch Haniger. Batting fifth for Seattle, DHing tonight, Mitch Garver. Batting sixth, catching for the Mariners, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting seventh for the Mariners, first baseman, Ty France. Batting eighth for Seattle, left fielder, Dominic Canzone. Batting ninth and playing third base, Luis Urias. And on the mound for the Mariners, Emerson Hancock. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. And shout out to Odin's son. $5 dono before the stream started. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang, $5 holla. Appreciate you, Odin's son. 95 to go to hit the goal. We'll throw up a few photos before we get there. Jacob in the building. How are you? I know you're excited. I'm glad you're here. Good luck in the series. GG to you as well. And hopefully we end up having some high-scoring affairs and we can get excited for these matchups in the next few days. Megan in the building. What's good? No problem. Let's go Kraken. Defend the deep. Release the Kraken. Daniel in the building. What's good? Matt is in the building. What's good? $5 holla. 95 to go. Tony in the building. What's good? Let's go. Let's get it, baby. Hope everyone had a good April Fool's Day, a good April 1st. Man, time flies. Goes by so quick, just like it seems like a few weeks ago we were hitting, the beginning of the new year, and now we're already sitting at April 1st. My guy, Odin's son, watching Raw, I imagine. And we'll throw up some Bray Wyatt for you now with your $5 dono. I really do appreciate it. You've always been an OG. I ended up doing some preparation for my taxes, and since taxes are due April 15th, not April 16th, not only do you have to, pay the taxes, if you owe, but then you also have to pay to submit the taxes. So that's where I'm kind of being able to grind it out now. I have about half of the money right now to be able to, turn them in. But, they always say on the commercials, oh, TurboTax and all these other companies, free. Like literally, like my paperwork is one piece of paper with a couple numbers on it, and that's it. And they want to charge me like $130, like 60 or 70 for state and 60 or 70 for federal, just to turn in the taxes, not to pay the taxes, but just to turn it in to say I legally did it. So that's what we're going to be grinding on, and hopefully we can get some Cash App here in the next 3 to 4 days, and hopefully we can end up getting around that $60 to $70 mark on Cash App between now and 3, 4, 5 days from now, obviously before the 15th, so that way I can turn that in. Another thing you got to pay for, you already know what it is. Let's get a little bit of some Bray Wyatt for my guy. And every year when I end up, trying to turn the taxes in, I'm always like bamboozled on how much things cost. I mean, I get it if they want to say free, and then it ends up being like $40. But when they're like free, and then you end up having to pay like $120, $130 for state and federal just to turn it in. I mean, that for someone like me, that's full time, as a streamer, and I'm only getting paid once a month, through the YouTube super chat. It's like, man, you need to be able to find ways to be able to get some income, through Cash App and whatnot, or Venmo. So that way you can actually pay bills on time and actually survive. So. But the Bray Wyatt documentary just landed on Peacock. Highly recommended. I know Odin has already watched it. I'm going to watch it probably after this matchup here tonight. And I hope everyone is having a fantastic day as we salute to Bray Wyatt. Rest in peace. I only saw a couple clips, but the clips that I did see were pretty emotional, obviously, with his brother, Bo Dallas, getting a little bit teary-eyed, which I would totally understand. This guy's a legend. He's a GOAT. Bray Wyatt, rest in peace. My guy. Let me turn up the volume here. Let's go, baby. First pitch for Emerson Hancock. Right down the middle for a strike, baby. Let's go. First rounder from Georgia. We're going to need big numbers. And normally this would be Brian Wu's spot, but he had an injury in spring training. So now we have to rely on the first rounder, Emerson Hancock, from last year. So far, so good. Ahead in the count, 0-2 count. Let's go. One sec here while I get situated. Top of the first, 0-0 Mariners, Guardians. Let's go. It's right down the middle for a strike. Let's go. We got to be able to try to get 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. Find a way. Next up, Andres Jimenez. Right there. Get it, JP. Yes, sir. Stephen Kwan, sit down. Andre Jimenez, sit down. There we go. Good start for Emerson Hancock. I love it. Next up, one of their studs. Struggling a little bit this season, but I know he'll be able to pick it up. First baseman, Jose Ramirez. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X, as well as people on YouTube in the room. And make sure you're taking care of your mental health as well. Little dribbler towards first. 1, 2, 3 inning. 3 up, 3 down. Stephen Kwan, sit down. Andre Jimenez, sit down. Jose Ramirez, sit down. Great start for Emerson Hancock. I love it. Let's go. And like I was saying, make sure you're taking care of your mental health. You know, it's very important. We only have one, and you want to make sure that you're checking off the boxes every single day to make sure you don't get into the gutter, and you make sure that you're pulling yourself out. If you start to feel like you're kind of getting into that mode, exercising, eating a little bit better, you know, making sure that you're doing the right things to be able to win the day. Big fact. All right, Marinez, let's go. Leading off for the Mariners in the bottom of the first, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, no fly zone, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod, we need you. And batting third, second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Let's go. See if I can squeeze in another Bray Wyatt or two in here as well. Very sad, but we got WrestleMania this weekend, and the card looks absolutely fantastic. You know, I love wrestling in general. I've been watching it since the mid-'80s, and I don't think I've been this kind of worked up and like excited for WrestleMania. And normally, you know, WrestleMania is going to be one of the best pay-per-views with SummerSlam, Survivor Series. You know, there's a few of them, Royal Rumble, you know, Money in the Bank. But again, if you are looking to kind of hold yourself over with not only Monday Night Raw tonight, because we have wrestling on all promotions literally every single day, Monday through Sunday. But if you're looking for something to watch on Peacock, the Bray Wyatt documentary, I know Odin has watched it. It's a little bit of a tearjerker since he did pass away. You got Bo Dallas on there as well. But I'm definitely going to try to get a chance to watch that. If you got a Twitter or a /X account, please like and retweet and share. It'll help us get more people on the channel and in the room. I appreciate you guys very, very much. JP, first pitch strike popped up all the way back to the warning track. Wow. Robbing a ball from a fan. Laureano, one away. That was tough. JP. Next up, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. I'm waiting for that first home run in 2024. Bottom of the first, 0-1 pitch. Pitch is high, 1-1 count. Roof in the building, Judah in the building, Matt in the building, Odin's son in the building. Yeah, keep me updated on Monday Night Raw on what's going on. I would appreciate it, and I'll watch that documentary of Bray Wyatt later tonight. Late. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. Come on, Julio, be patient in the box. We know that you can steal bags. You can be 30-30, 40-40, 50-50, but you got to have patience in the box. Stealing bags, you're a 10 out of 10. Defense, 10 out of 10. Right? We know you can rob the home runs. Little dribbler towards third. Got him. 2 away. But just being patient within those first like 3 or 4 pitches and not swinging on what you assume is going to be a first, pitch strike or a second pitch strike. And sometimes when you swing and you're going to anticipate a strike and you hit it on the sweet spot, yeah, you're going to homer. We're going to see some homers on first pitch strikes from Julio this year. But I feel that as, the game has gone along, Julio in his 3rd year, you're not really fooling anyone. When you first came out as a rookie, right, and you had them leading off, they didn't really know what to expect from Julio Rodriguez, but obviously with the sophomore slump, and then obviously this being his junior year, as if we're, correlating high school numbers there, there's a lot to improve on. But again, we got to make sure that we're not striking out as much. And obviously compared to where we started last year against the Guardians, and then obviously this season, starting off on a different team, It hasn't been too kind. We haven't really found our rhythm just yet. But again, we're only 4 games in. We're 2-2. It could be a lot worse. We could be the 0-4 Astros. So we have to give it time. You know, and of course, everyone wants results in anything in life. They want it now, now, now. But as a Mariner fan and as a Pacific Northwest sports fan, you have to realize that, you know, a lot of times there's going to be pain, there's going to be misery, and there's going to be a lot of patience involved. And things aren't going to necessarily going to, you know, be like hot right out of the gates, even though we were in spring training for a majority of our guys. So a little bit disappointing that some of those guys haven't carried over. But I feel that, you know, every single year we have a similar type of stance, you know, where we might not be very good early on in April and May. We'll pick up the pace a little bit in June. July and August will be much better. And then usually we go a little bit fat and we fade a little bit towards the end of the year unless we can find a way to adjust. And we'll see if we can win 1-run games. We got to see if we can win extra inning games. And we were really good in Julio, George Kirby, and Cal Raleigh's rookie season in 2022. But we were terrible last year in 1-run games and in extra inning games. We have to get 5 runs or more, 7 to 10 hits. If we get that, we're going to win 95% of our games. But if you get less than 7 to 10 hits, and if you get less than 5 runs, there's a chance that we're going to lose like 90% of the games unless we can end up winning those close 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, 4-3, 5-4 games. And we haven't really proven that we can do that just yet. And so far, it's either we're getting hits, you know, and we're going to get some runs and we're going to be around that 4 to 5 range, or we're going to struggle mightily and we're going to be at like 1 run. So there's not really an in-between yet, but we got to pray that we hopefully can get there. Let's go. 3-2 pitch, 2 away, bottom of the first. Polanco, chop foul towards first base. Let's go, Jorge. Oh, that's an awesome photo. That Brave photo is awesome. Is that from the documentary? Caitlin Clark with 41, dominating. It's crazy how, like, the women's, you know, tourney is a little bit more popular than the men's. Like, there's not a whole lot of, like, name recognition even out of the guys in the Final Four, but I feel like if you watch sports or you're on your timeline, you probably can name more of the women than the men, even if you don't watch the women at all. You know, and just having it on your timeline on socials. So the Final Four will be good for both, for the men and the women's. Dribbler towards first, 1-2-3 inning for the Guardians. 3 up and 3 down. Let's go, baby. No hits either. Let's go. Let me see if I can squeeze in a few more photos here for Odin's son. $5 holla, 95 to go. Bray Wyatt, baby. One of my favorites, an originator, and obviously had new masks, new gear, a lot of you know, kind of tributes, you know, to not only his wife and his, you know, bro and a few others. So if you get a chance and you're a big fan of wrestling, check out the Bray Wyatt documentary on Peacock. It'll be a tearjerker, but if you love wrestling, you'll enjoy it. Big facts. And I feel like with the Fiend character, it was one of the best original characters, you know, we have ever seen. You know, Undertaker has to be number 1, but in this generation, I feel like the Fiend character, you know, was one of the best, you know, since original character concepts since the Undertaker. And they fumbled the bag when they could have put the belt on him, you know, but obviously they had no idea that he was going to pass at such an early age. But, you know, they should have put the strap and put the belt on him before that ended up happening. They did not handle his character development, and obviously they didn't handle him the proper way. But again, we already know with wrestling, it's politics. And if Vince is running it, you know, what Vince says, if Vince goes, he's not in charge anymore, supposedly. But, you know, we can still honor Bray Wyatt. Love him. Guardians due up here in the top of the second. Next up for the Guardians, first baseman Josh Naylor. Batting second this inning, center fielder Tyler Freeman. And batting third, DHing for the Guardians, Will Brennan. Let's go, baby. He started off a little slow, and I would assume it might not be tonight, but I would assume that Ramirez will, go yard at some point in the 3 games. I would assume. $5, 95 to go. Let them know. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube as well. Popped up. There we go, baby. Nice defense by Cal. 1 away. Nice job, Cal. Next up for Cleveland, center fielder Tyler Freeman. So far, so good for Emerson Hancock. I had a feeling that with the lineup, I kind of like this lineup, and it's nice to see Garv back, even though he struggled a little bit before he got hurt. But I feel that we have a very good chance to get the dub here today. I don't know how many runs that we're going to put up. It might end up being a low-scoring game. But, hopefully we can get a little bit of rhythm and consistency, and we can get on a little bit of a rally, at least in 1 of 2 of the innings in this 9-inning matchup, and we can find a way to win. Got to stay above 500. Top of the second, 1 away. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch to Freeman. Pitch low in the zone for a strike. 0-2 count. I like that. And this was going to be, Brian Wu, but he had the same injury as last year. So our starting number 5 in the rotation is injured, but, we got a guy that I feel could be just as good as Brian Wu. I don't know if he'll be better than Brian Wu, because Brian Wu can give you the heater like Bryce Miller. He can give you the 10 Ks. He's got that ability, but there's going to be other times where he's going to give up a lot of runs as well. So I'm not sure if Hancock will be better than Wu, because Wu is like Miller. It's either really, really good or really, really bad, and hopefully we can have a little bit of lightning strike here today, a lot of pop-ups and grounders, and we can have a lot of easy outs for Emerson Hancock, the rookie from last year from Georgia, our first rounder. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. And it's all going to be about experience, and who ends up doing better between Emerson Hancock and Wu, based off their skill set. I mean, I think both of them, could handle that spot really, really well. And again, this is a big opportunity for Hancock to take Wu's spot, depending on how well he pitches in his start. So 0-1 pitch. Check swing foul. Brennan in the box. Getting ahead in the count is very good for the Mariners as well. We had a problem of that in the first 4 games. Lots of strikeouts. And if we can get ahead in the count, 0-2 almost on every single batter so far, it's going to give us a good opportunity to win. Popped up. Back to the wall. Oh! No fly zone. Julio Rodriguez. What a defensive play by the no fly zone. Oh my goodness. Julio. Looking like King Griffey Jr. out there, baby. Yeah. There we go. Nice job, Julio. Everything is clicking today. I feel, even though it is, April Fool's Day, I get it. And a lot of the stuff on your timeline is going to be fake, and not real. But again, no fly zone, that's the real deal. And it's great to see Julio with that defense. There we go. There we go, baby. 3 up and 3 down. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning. This game is going by pretty quick. Next up for the Mariners, right fielder, Mitch Haniger. And hopefully your health can stay as good as it can be. And you've been a real bright spot to the lineup. And I know a lot of Mariner fans are happy that you're back. And as long as you're producing, you're going to be on everyone's good side. And luckily for the Mariner fans and for Mitch, he has. Let's go. Batting second this inning, another Mitch. DHing back in the lineup, Mitch Garver from the world champion, Texas Rangers. And batting third, big dumper, catcher, Cal Raleigh. Let's go. I'm still waiting for Cal's first homer as well as Julio's. So hopefully we end up getting one of those tonight. But it would be really sweet if we can get Cal and Julio to homer this evening. Let's go. Nice job by Emerson Hancock. I'm impressed. And again, with the Guardians, obviously with their particular record, I liked what I saw, but going against like the A's, is a little bit different than going against Boston. And we know Boston finished in last in the AL East for 2 years, but I think most people would agree Boston is going to be a better team, than Oakland. And obviously they barely have any fan support. They had one of their best players. They optioned down to AAA today. So that doesn't make any sense. It's like I almost feel they're sabotaging their season. It's like, hell, you could have all your best players in Oakland and you're still going to be one of the bottom 2 teams in the league. But I guess that's how Oakland handles their business before they go to Vegas. Lenny D in the building. What's good? How are you? Popped up, 1 away. Well, it's up to the next Mitch, DHing for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. And let's give Tristan McKenzie a little love as well. He's good a couple years ago, got hurt last year, and he can bring the heat. Any Guardian fans that are in the room, they'll let you know. He's got a lot of potential. Lenny, you going to be in the building this weekend for WrestleMania? I know you are, unless you got plans. Yes, I got you. We'll get this pick up here for you once we get to commercial break and the family pick of Bray. And we'll definitely give a shout out to Samantha, his first wife, and JoJo as well, and the kids, and Bo Dallas, the whole fam. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the second, 1 away, 2-2 count, Mariners, Guardians. WrestleMania week is here, and literally every day, Monday through Sunday, you can watch something on WWE or AEW. Like every day, you're going to have something to watch if you're a wrestling fan, and I know for some of us in the room, we're going to be getting very, very excited of day 1 and day 2, and it's one of the best slates that I've seen. I mean, even if you're pro AEW or ROH or Impact or NJPW and you're a hater towards WWE, right, which I don't think anyone in this room is, but if you are, let's say, an AEW guy only, and you look at the card for WrestleMania, you can't really talk shit about it. A lot of the AEW stars have gotten hurt in the last few months, so their product has gone downhill a little bit, and WWE's has gone up. So if you're a fan of wrestling in general, this WrestleMania weekend is going to be incredible. Oh, Odin, you're good, brother. You're an OG. You're the, the top dog, and you're one of the first ones to be able to support me and donate, and you're a ride or die, bro. You have nothing to worry about, my guy. And you're always going to be able to donate as much as you can when you can. And again, it's like I don't need to be rich, but again, all I need is a little bit of Cash App here and there throughout the month, so that way I can pay bills on time and and do that. And then obviously I get paid once a month, on the YouTube side, but it's not really that much. And then usually that goes towards, things that I owe or things that need to be paid and bills and whatnot. So, it's a grind. But the thing is like, when you're doing your dream, and even if you're not making as much as you would if you had like a full-time job that you hate, again, for me, I put a lot of time and effort and energy into this channel. I've been recording for 12 years, been on YouTube for 8. I sacrificed the Jordan Rookie, PSA 9, 86 Fleer that's worth 20 to 30 grand. So I'm in this for the long haul. And even if it ends up, being a tough year, which 2023 was, and this year it's been pretty tough as well, but I'm still going to grind. I'm still going to stay positive. We're going to grow, and eventually we'll find the people that want to be a part of this channel, and we'll find some heavy hitters to be able to supplement for some of the others, and we're going to be able to, keep grinding and having success. Big facts. Bottom of the second, 1 away. We're knotted up at 0. Runner at first. 3-2 count to Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Big Dumper. Dumper popped up, foul back. Still 3-2 count. Always, bro. I always look forward to hearing from you, and seeing how you're doing. And I know you're busy a lot of times, and you'll pop up here and there during football season, but I can always count on you to come through during our wrestling streams. And We didn't get to do the last one because it was in Australia, and it's the first time I think I've missed a wrestling stream, on the channel, maybe ever. Just because it was on my time at like 3 a.m, which I guess I could have done it, but I don't think it's really worth it at that time period because a lot of people are going to be sleeping. Some will be watching, but again, if I'm recording at that time with other people in the house, probably not ideal for me to be screaming and yelling and watching wrestling at 3 a.m. So. But we don't have too many of those, that are going to be on that time slot. And then when they end up doing like Saudi Arabia, that ends up being like 10 a.m. So that doesn't really count as a stream that we have to wait to do. So I'm very excited. Pitch is low and outside, 2-0 count. Ty France, 267 average. 4 for 15, no homers. Come on, baby. We need you, Ty. We need all-star Ty. I know that he worked out and he lost a little bit of weight, but it's all about finding that chemistry. And baseball is the hardest sport to play. To be able to defend, to be able to hit, to be able to pitch effectively. There's so many like little, nuances in baseball, that we fall in love with. Double plays, triple plays, suicide squeezes, everything. Stealing home. But just to be able to hit, you got to understand, guys that are hitting 3 for 10 are getting paid millions of dollars. Guys that hit 2 for 10, they may not. And they may lose their job. Bang! There we go. Nice ribby there. 1-0 Mariners with runners on the corners. Tridents up, baby. Let's go. Great start. That's what I'm talking about. Cal Raleigh. Let's go. Ty France. Everyone getting involved. Yes, sir. Nice job, Ty. Nice RBI there. 1-0 Mariners. And when I looked at the lineup, I felt pretty good about it, even with Emerson Hancock, pitching. So let's go. Nice job. Let's go. Runners on the corners, bottom of the second, 1 out. 1-0 pitch. The Dominic Canzone. Let's go. Yeah, you can always come through and we'll have talks and whatnot. I had a buddy of mine on Facebook that made a post that I wasn't expecting because I do check up on my friends. Popped up. Back, gone! Let's go! Tridents up. Dominic Canzone, 3-run homer. 4-0 Mariners. We're winning this one, baby. Tridents up. Bang! Let's go. Yes, sir. Let's go. This is exactly what we've been waiting for 4 games. Way to bring that electricity. Everyone is locked and loaded. Dominic Canzone right on the sweet spot. 4-0 Mariners. Let's go. But I had a buddy, that's been going through a lot of heavy depression in the last few years, and he made a post on Facebook and tagged me in it, thanking me for, checking up on him and pretty much saying depression is a motherfucker. Thank you to me, for always checking up on him. I appreciate you, love you. And, a lot of his friends on that timeline obviously reacted to it. And then I had another mutual friend, this girl that I know, Tara, that we were all mutual friends with. She's like 39 and she already has cancer. And she wrote in the, messages down below, like how good of a guy that she thought I was. And, I'm very loyal and I'm going to be definitely looking out for people. And, I definitely had to reach back out to both of them to thank them. And, I'm always going to try to do what I can to help people out any way that I can. And I usually have a little ESP and instinct if I feel that things are a little off from people, not only my friends here in Oregon, but just on the channel. Like if I don't hear from people for a little bit, I usually will check up knowing that maybe something is a little off or something might have happened. And if I can, touch base and make things a little bit better, maybe not solve the problem completely, but just to let you know that I'm there. And, if you need an ear, I can listen. And if you just need to be able to vent or have someone to talk to, your boy will always be here. The only time I won't answer is if I'm sleeping. But other than that, I'm always going to be able to help everyone that I can in the appropriate amount of time. Big facts. Let's go. Nice job by Dominic Canzone. All my Mariner buddies are going crazy right now. Go, Louise. We need you. Yee, yee, yee. Love it. We've been waiting for this for 4 games. Let's go. Popped up. Playable. 2 away. And we don't expect a whole lot out of our guys, in the 9-hole. Third base is definitely going to be probably our weakest spot, in the lineup overall, and obviously offensively and defensively. But every once in a while, we'll get a little bit of production out of Luis and Josh Roja. All right, next up, leading off for the Mariners in the bottom of the second, 2 away, J.P. Crawford. Let's go, JP. Oh for 1 with the foul out early on. Let's go, JP. Pitch right down the middle. 0-2 count. McKenzie ahead of the count. I see you. Pitch is high. High and inside, 1-2 count. Yeah, I know it's not going to be for everyone, just like with hockey and NASCAR and baseball and basketball, it's kind of like a lot of us will love football and wrestling. But once football is over, college football and NFL, we have to transition into something to keep our mental health at a good, pace. And if that's wrestling, that's great. But then a lot of us need something other than wrestling to keep us going. For me, obviously NASCAR, baseball, NHL kind of keep me going. And then once we get to Final Four, and we go to the NBA playoffs, then it gets a little bit more interesting, even though it's kind of hard to watch on TV. But going to games in person for basketball is a little bit more enjoyable. 3-2 pitch. Got him. Big punch out there. Nice job, Tristan. Dominic Canzone with that homer. 3-run jack, baby. Love it. Nice job, Dom. End of the second inning, 4-0 Mariners. Lauren, thank you so much. Oh, let's go. All the Mariner homies are going crazy. Yes, about time. Anyone's got the Twitter/X, shout out to y'all. Anyone that can help like and retweet, that'll definitely help. And let me try to get that photo up for you, Odin, here real quick. I'm going to send it to Matt, and then I'll grab the image from there. So 1 sec here. All right, let me see here. Lots of button clicking, baby. And you never got to apologize here, bro. You and me are always going to be 100. We're never going to have any issues. Like I said, you always have gone above and beyond, and you've always thought about me, when my, stress level was going through the roof, and again, it's like, I don't need to be rich, but I got to be able to, if this is my full-time job and I have no other income, I got to be able to survive at the very least. So sometimes that gets a little bit challenging, but, I already know that I got, a few of y'all that will definitely make sure that I can at least get the bills paid and, make sure that the support ends up being there. And I really do love that and appreciate y'all. Let's go. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. Samantha, first wife, JoJo, all the kids, go Dallas. There's a goat right there. Odin's son and Bray Wyatt. Hancock on the mound. First pitch strike. Nice job, Hancock. Let's go. I like this. Chop foul. Next up in the box, right fielder, Ramon Laureano. 300 average, 3 for 10 this season. The right fielder. Top of the third, 4-0 M's. I almost have to rub my eyes. Is that real? It's we always want to be able to get off to a fast start, but it almost doesn't seem real when it, normally doesn't happen that often for us. But I'm glad it happened here today. That hit him. It hit his finger and the bat. Are they going to give him an out here or a hit by pitch? Let's watch the replay. Oh, it hit him in the hand. Hit him in the hand where he had the hand on the bat. So what's going on here? Are they going to put him at first or is he out? Yeah. Now you just got to worry about Rashee Rice with the whole speeding and, racing Lambos and Corvettes and then fleeing the scene. Not a good look. Seems like every time something really good happens for Kansas City, there's always some kind of distraction. It's not going to be, anything terrible. I'm not sure if he's going to get suspended or jail time or they'll cut him or anything like that. They can always end up drafting another wide receiver in the draft, which they probably should do anyways. There's Troy Franklin, Roma Dunzier, Xavier Worthy. There's going to be a lot of guys that the Chiefs can pick up, but not ideally the thing that you want to see out of your Chiefs. But again, when you're young, you got money, and you're a little careless with the homies, and depending on if there's drugs in the car or guns or whatever's going on, fleeing the scene, not a good look. But hopefully things get resolved. He turns himself in, and hopefully he's still on the Kansas City Chiefs for you guys moving forward. Jay Noel in the building. What's good? An uncharacteristic 3-run homer for the Mariners early on. They're still reviewing it right now. Yeah, but as long as Patrick Mahomes is there with Kelsey and Reed, and Chris Jones is there. Who? Chris Jones. Who? Chris Jones. You're definitely going to be the favorite team every year in the AFC, just like New England was with Tom Brady and the Patriots. They may not get there every year. They may not win it every year. But if you had to pick a team that that is most likely to be in the AFC Championship game, it's them. And most likely to represent the AFC, it's them. So until we end up getting a breakup of the big three, whether that be Andy Reid or Travis Kelce, that has yet to be seen. But we'll see. We got a first base coach that got ejected. Let them know. We're at 5, 95 to go. Crazy how many wrestlers have football experience, from junior college, or the pros. A lot of people know Bill Goldberg was on the Falcons, but there's many more. Roman Reigns, a lot of these guys, played at some point at high school, college, junior college, semi-pro ball, or in the NFL. All right, so he got hit on the fingers right where, he swung on the bat, and then they ended up, giving him the first base, ultimately hit by pitch. I get it. I mean, if the same thing happened to the Mariners, I would assume that we would want the same type of result, but A little suspect of a call, but it is what it is. As long as they call it 100 down the middle. Pitches outside, 1-1 count. 4-0 Mariners. Nikki in the building. What's good? Yeah, they do have a chance. They're 3-1. They did play the A's in the first series of the year, so that's one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball. So I'm not trying to take anything away from the Guardians. You did what you were supposed to do. But again, when you end up playing a bottom feeder team, one of the bottom two in the major leagues, again, you should have gone 3-1 or 4-0. So we'll see, how they do against the Mariners and then the next series. And then we'll kind of get an idea how good possibly the Guardians will be this year. Are they a wild card team? Are they going to be able to compete for the division? Or, are they going to miss the playoffs? I mean, we don't really know yet. It's way too early. But normally the Mariners don't get off to this hot of a start. And it's the 5-pitcher versus the 5-pitcher. So, it's not like we're getting the number one versus the number one. This is, in the rotation. This is the 5th starter. So the last guy in the rotation for both teams. So you would assume that each guy is going to give up probably 3 to 4 runs. But Emerson Hancock so far has been very clean. Not to take anything away from the Guardian fans, which we have a few in the building that are watching, because again, if we ended up 3-1 over the A's or 4-0, I don't think anyone's going to be screaming and shouting that we're going to go to the World Series after a 4-0 start over the A's. So again, you won against a shitty team that you should have won, but still you got to give them credit for winning. It could be worse. It could be the Houston Astros and be 0-4 and play the Yankees in the first series. Now, are the Astros really 0-4 that bad? No, but they ended up playing one of the better teams in the Yankees, and obviously bringing in Juan Soto has made a night and day difference for the New York Yankees. Top of the third, 4-0 Seattle. Runner at first, 3-2 count for Emerson Hancock. Line drive. Right in front of Julio. Runners at first and second now. Trying to get a little bit of a run. Damage control. Yeah. And remember, anytime you feel that you're going through the ups and the downs, may not feel comfortable talking to just anybody on the channel, you have my phone number. We talk to each other, either through, text message, or on socials. But, Odin, if anytime things get, a little up and down, and you always can reach out, and I always will reach back. Just like a few days back when it was super late at night, when we were watching sports and wrestling and whatnot, I enjoyed that conversation that we had. And I look forward to, being able to, be that ear. And, again, I've gone through a lot of depression and anxiety. I've gone through the ups, I've gone through the downs. And sometimes it's nice to know that you got a homie that will always be there no matter what, even if we're on opposite sides of the country. I always will be here for you. We got a lot in common, my guy. Around the same age. We like a lot of the same things. Grew up in the same era. So you're my guy. Top of the third, 4-0 Mariners. Runners at first and second, 1-1 count by Hancock. Big swing and a miss. Rocchio. A Brian. I'm starting to see a lot of Bryans or Bryans. B-R-A-Y-A-N. Starting to become a little bit more popular than B-R-I-A-N or B-R-Y-A-N. Damn it, get him. Uh-oh, they got bases loaded. They're starting to feel a little bit of this Uncle Mo and that momentum. Come on, man, Trident's up. Hancock starting to slip a little bit after that walk. You're never going to be a burden, bro. My job is to be able to check up on people. I don't need necessarily people to check up on me, but I think I was put, here on this earth, to, not only be able to try to achieve my dreams and my goals, but to be someone that can be there for people and help people out. I've always been that type of person, to check up on the friends, and I'm not going to check up on just anybody. There's only going to be like a handful of people that are like really, really close to me that I know that are going through the ups and the downs. But, sometimes, when you have like certain type of friend groups, You know, just because you drink or you smoke or you have drinking buddies and smoking buddies, you know, that's cool and all. But sometimes those are not the people that you can open up to. You know, because a lot of times if you try to open up with your drinking buddies, that information that you tell them goes in one ear, out the other, because they're drunk or they're not, or they don't care, you know, because they're faded. You know, so, and then once you end up doing that once or twice, then you're not going to want to do it again, you know, and then you end up kind of closing yourself off. So what I've realized is, like, you know, if I can be that guy that to be genuine and honest and actually to care about people, and if they open up, you know, it's an honor, you know, because especially for guys to open up to other guys, it's not a very common thing. You know, a lot of guys, you know, when we go through a problem, we just kind of stuff it down deep in our soul and we just leave it there, and that's not healthy, right? Get it to second, throw to first. They get a run on the board. Throw to first. He is safe. Runners on the corners. 4-1 Mariners. You know, but again, you know, when it's like, you know, girls can open up to their girlfriends and whatnot, but for dudes and guys in general, it's not really that common. So that's why I feel like I can be, you know, that person where I can be like a psychologist, a therapist, a big brother. You know, I could be a mentor. And the bottom line is, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You know, the number one thing is when someone is coming to you with their problems, you shut the fuck up and you just listen. You know, if they ask you for your opinion, then you give it, but you don't start rambling off what you would do, because just because I would do something some way doesn't mean Odin would do it the same way. So that's something that you learn, you know, based off being in this position of trying to be a leader, and not only being a leader, but someone that actually genuinely cares about people and, you know, their mental health as well. So big facts. Top of the third, runners on the corners, one away, 4-1 Mariners, 0-1 count to Andres Jimenez. Nice catch. Tagged up. Man, we're getting roughed up this inning, but could have been a lot worse. 4-2 Mariners. I see you, Stephen Kwan. I see you, Andres Jimenez. Next up, Jose Ramirez. And this would be a great opportunity for him to go yard. Hopefully he doesn't, for Mariner fans' sake. Grant singled to center, Garver scored, Raleigh to third, and then Canzone homered with a 3-run homer. Raleigh and France scored, and then Canzone brought him home. So it was 4-0, and then now Kwon grounded out to fielder's choice to second. Laureano scored, Rocchio out at second, Bo Naylor to third, and then Jimenez just sacrificed to right, and then Bo Naylor scored, and now we have a 4-2 game. So Jacob went to go get a snack, and then all of a sudden it was 0-0, then 4-0, now 4-2. I told you it was going to be a good game. There's Ramirez with a hit. I knew he was going to be able to get one today. He might homer, you know, some point in these next 3 games, and it might not be tonight, but I figured he would get back on track tonight. Yeah, you know, a lot of times, you know, for me, you know, it's like, you know, I try to be able to help people the best way that I can, but as long as I have Paisley, you know, and as long as I have this channel as an outlet for mental health and sports, and you know, not only the people in the room, but for myself, you know, it's a little bit of a therapy session as well as sports and wrestling. So baseball, basketball, football, hockey, NASCAR, boxing, UFC, wrestling, mental health, sports, pop culture, movies, TV shows. You know, it's all wrapped up into one channel here. So, but I hear you. Oh for 1 with a foul out. Runners on the corners, Josh Naylor. He's rocking the baby there. Can't get too excited. Little dribbler. Throw it to France. All right, we get out of the inning, but we gave up 2, but that's all right. You know, these are, you know, in the rotation, these are the 5 whole guys. You know, not the number 1, not the number 2, not the number 3, not the number 4. This is literally the last guy in the rotation for both teams. So it is what it is. You already knew that this was going to give up. You were going to get some runs scored in this game more than likely, and we already got 6 combined, and we're in the bottom of the third. So still have a good chance, and I'm glad we got runs. And again, being able to get 5 runs and 7 to 10 hits is going to be ideal for the Mariners to be able to win here today. And we're already at 4 runs, 2 hits. They're at 2 runs and 3 hits, and hopefully we can keep it going. Megan in the building. What's good? How are you? All right, leading off for the Mariners, 0 for 1, center fielder, right ends up, no fly zone, Julio Rodriguez. Still waiting on that first home run of the year, my guy. Batting second baseman, Jorge Polanco. And batting third, right fielder, welcome home, welcome back, Mitch Haniger. Let's go. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X, as well as the people in the room. Love you, and I appreciate you. Nice. Go, Julio. We got to make sure we're keeping it 100. We're going to keep it 50-50. We got to give a lot of love to Tristan McKenzie. I see you. Go, Julio. Julio popped up, foul. 0-2 count. Come on, J-Rod. Pitch is low. Outside, 1-2 count. Bonafide superstar, but he's still got a long ways to go. We have to keep it 100. He's not Ken Griffey Jr. just yet. He's got potential to be Ken Griffey Jr., at some point down the road, but, he's got a lot of qualities that are similar offensively and defensively. But Griffey was much better in the box and had more patience than Julio. But again, it's only Julio's 3rd year, and Julio might play 15 to 20 years. So we might not really get his full prime until years 4 through 7 or 4 through 8. And it might even continue in years 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. But if the Mariners want a chance to be able to get to an ALCS or a World Series, this is going to be a key component that needs to step up. Big fact. 4-2 Mariners, bottom of the 3rd, 2-2 pitch. Got him looking. Punched him out. Nice K by McKenzie. We'll give him some love. I see you. I see you, Tristan. Stop striking out my guy, Julio. 32 home runs and 37 stolen bases. Julio should be 40-40 every year minimum with his type of talent level. But again, it takes time to be able to get into your groove, and baseball is the hardest sport to play. Hitting, pitching, defending, very difficult. Next up, second baseman Jorge Polanco. It's just crazy that you can hit 2 out of 10 and not have a job in baseball. But if you hit 3 out of 10, 3 baseballs out of 10 attempts, you can be like a multimillionaire. Just that one extra hit. There's nobody in Major League Baseball that's getting 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 and hitting 800 or 700. Hell, you're not even getting guys hitting 5 out of 10 or 500 average. Every once in a while, you'll have a phenom come out of nowhere and hit maybe in the high 300s or 400s, for a short period of time, but not usually for the whole season. Hell, even getting over 300 for a season is rare nowadays. Big facts. No, that's okay, bro. I think you should hang on to it. Anything that you get in collectibles, I think you should hang on to. Even if it's not something that you personally have an attachment to, I feel as far as a collector, anything that you end up getting, ends up being a part of your collection. And then I think that if you end up meeting someone in New York, that is like an Orioles fan or a fan, of him specifically, then you can give it away to someone like that. Because obviously I can always, take memorabilia from any player and any team, but sometimes being able to find a home for a piece of memorabilia that you don't necessarily have a connection to, you just got to be able to wait and find that person that loves Rafael Palmeiro, or like the Orioles or one of the teams that he was on, and then you can gift that to that person, and then that will mean more to that person than it would necessarily to, I appreciate everything, don't get me wrong, but I think if you ended up giving it to like a Rafael Palmeiro fan or a fan of the O's that you end up meeting or coming across, they'll get a lot more appreciation and love from it. And that's like with me, I probably have given away, like 25 to 30% of my collection, even though it's like thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff. But, if I know that they're going to keep it, they're not going to sell it, and I can find a home, for some of these items rather than me having them in a drawer or in a cubby or in a tote or, displayed, every piece of memorabilia has a home. And sometimes you just have to wait for that person to come into your life to be able to, pass that down. End of the third inning, 4-2 Mariners. Jordan in the building. What's good, man? How are you? Man, Reds are playing well, Jordan. I like him. They might win the division. They might actually win the division this season. There's a real possibility. First or second. Hope you're doing well, my guy. We normally don't get runs that often, and it was nice to be able to get a 4 spot early, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to keep up this firepower and this consistency, but I hope so. All right, Guardians due up in the top of the 4th. Leading off for Cleveland, center fielder Tyler Freeman. 0 for 1. Batting second in the lineup, DHing for the Guardians, Will Brennan. And batting third, 0 for 0 with a run, right fielder Ramon Laureano. No problem. Keep me posted. I know, right? I like being able to see teams that, normally are, in the bottom or in the middle, and then they kind of rise to the top. It's like really nice to see, even though it's going to be like a tough matchup for the M's with the Orioles, but to see where the Orioles were, in the last 5 to 10 years, and then where they were last year, you can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's nice to be able to see teams get better and better and have a little bit of shine and have their moment. I hate seeing teams suck forever, regardless if that's my own team or, teams that are out there, in Major League Sports. I don't think any fan wants to see their team suck forever. So everyone deserves to be happy with their sports teams at some point in their life. Top of the 4th, 4-2 M's. Nice little pop out there. Nice catch by Ty France, 1 away. Next up, 0 for 1 with a fly out, DHing for the Guardians. Should be the Indians. I think they should have never changed the name. I mean, it's not as bad as the Washington Commandos, Washington football team. Washington Redskins should still be the Washington Redskins, and the Cleveland Indians should still be the Cleveland Indians. The Dallas Cowboys, Washington Redskin rivalry, Redskins Cowboys, that's what I grew up with. And, and if it's not offending and they actually like the name and it's not, because it seems like the people who are getting offended by it aren't the people that should be getting offended by it. Like a lot of the Indian Chiefs are like, yeah, we want this. It's actually based off one of our prize Indian Chiefs. We like that. We have the image on the Redskin helmet. But then you get people that aren't Indian that supposedly think it's racist and they want them to change the name. Julio. No fly zone. But I wish the Redskins would come back, and the Guardians, it's not terrible, you know, but Cleveland Indians and their logo and everything, like that history that I grew up watching, I wish that they would still have those two teams named that way. What a sliding catch by Julio. No fly zone, baby. Did he actually catch it, though? Oh, yes, he did. What a catch. Nice catch, J-Rod. 2 away. All right, man. Much love. And if you ever need anything from me, let me know. I will always check up on you. Make sure that you're doing okay. Appreciate you, my guy. $5, 95 to go. No fly zone, Julio bobble. Top of the fourth, 4-2 Seattle, 2 outs, runner at first. Next up, catcher Bo Naylor. Beautiful day here in Oregon as well. I haven't been able to wear a cutoff shirt and shorts to take Paisley for a walk in a long, long time, but the weather has been fantastic here in the Pacific Northwest. 2-0 pitch. Pitch is outside. 3-0 count. Come on. Emerson Hancock. Let's go, baby. And he walked him. Ryan Rocchio in the box. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. Nice pitch by Hancock there. Let's go. Matty B. Yes. Let's go. Hell yeah. 1-0 Kraken. Yeah. Oh, really? Rocchio foul towards third base. 0-2 count. Top of the fourth. 2 outs. 0-2 pitch. Hancock on the mound. Rocchio in the box. 0-2 pitch for Emerson. Pitch is inside. 1-2 count. Two on, 2 out. 1-2 pitch. Chopper right to Hancock. Throw it to first. Underhand throw to France. Got him. There we go. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth and get some more insurance runs, baby. Let's go. Next up for the Mariners, 0-0 with a run and a base on ball. DHing for the Mariners tonight, Mitch Garver. Batting second, 0-0 with a run and a base on ball as well. Catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And batting third, 1-for-1 with a run and an RBI, Ty France. Let's go. Take a look at the stat line real quick for the pitchers. Matty B, that's what I'm talking about. Kraken, defend the deep, release the Kraken. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at Emerson Hancock. What do we got here? All right, so Emerson Hancock, 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 K. He would want a little bit more than just 1, but again, we got a nice lead. 54 pitches, 37 strikes. And then let's go to McKenzie. McKenzie, 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 Ks, 62 pitches, and 37 strikes. So even though Hancock only has 1 K, at least he hasn't given up the big 3-run jack earlier in the game that we ended up getting with Dominic Canzone. Let's go. Let's go, Ems. Let's go, Mitch Garver. Bring that World Series win experience from the Rangers to your at-bats. Let's go. 0 for 0. 1-0 pitch. Chop foul. 1-1 count. Oh, no way. You do? Nice. Bowman? Bowman Chrome or Bowman? Do you buy cards often? You go to the card shop and you buy packs and whatnot, or? Popped up. 1 away. Man, I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Chrome. Nice. Bottom of the 4th, 1 away. 0 for 0 with a walk and a run. Big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. You're my boy. I got a Topps rookie, Cal Raleigh. I remember when he ended up, in 2022, hitting that amazing home run to get us in the playoffs. I bought his auto rookie that night on eBay. So I went through many cards, but I didn't see a lot of them like graded that I liked based off the pose on the card and what the card looked like. So I ended up buying a raw, non-graded card, and that was like probably the only non-graded card that I've ever bought on eBay before. But it was worth it. Had the look of the card it was much nicer than the ones that were graded. So sometimes, it's about the value of the card. If it's like a PSA 9 or 10 or a BGS 9 or 10 or an 8. But sometimes, if you can't find what you want and you want to have a certain look to a card, sometimes, you got to buy the raw graded card because they had no graded versions of the card that I bought. And I still think to this day it's one of Cal's best rookies. Yeah, I've been collecting, it started around 3 years old and then collected all the way up until about my 20s. Then I took about like a 10 to 15 year break. And then occasionally, here and there. But for me, I normally just pick up rookie cards or rookie card autos. So instead of buying boxes of cards, I'll just, grab like a Julio, PSA 9 or like a graded, Julio rookie for $250, $350. Aaron Judge, rookie auto for like $500, $600, $700, something like that. That way I know that, I'm not just like buying a box, hoping I'm going to get some like, Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, dual auto. The chances of you getting something like that is like slim to none. So I figure, for me, it's a little bit better to invest in rookie cards and autos on rookies. Usually that's what I would do back in the day too. When I would go to the card shop, I would just go and be like, oh, I want a Hakeem Olajuwon rookie card. Okay, I want a Chris Paul rookie card. And I would just buy like a rookie card or two every week. I don't do that anymore because I don't have the finances to do that. But I remember like every time I got paid, every 2 weeks or every week, I would go to the card shop and just buy like a rookie card or two, just to add to the collection because I felt that would be the smartest way to retain my value instead of just buying packs or boxes. I mean, you can get good hits once in a while on packs and boxes, but it's like gambling.
for every person online that tells you, oh, I got this amazing card, and I bought this box or whatever, but they never tell you about how many boxes they bought before they got the card. It's not like they bought one box for $500 and got like $1,000 card. They probably spent like $4,000 on boxes and then finally got like a $500 card eventually. Oh, over the minute. Ty France with a single. Nice job, Ty. Next up, left fielder Dominic Canzone. Yeah, but I'm more of like a toy, like figure guy. I like McFarlane's and starting lineups and bobbleheads from the Mariners and Hot Wheels, Matchbox, stuff from like the 80s and 90s. Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, He-Man. Stuff like that. So a lot of my stuff, it will be like toy related, but I still have a lot of love for like old school Sports Illustrated, old school posters, old school Beckett's, old school cards, basketball, baseball, football, hockey, whatever it may be. Pretty much if it was a collectible item, I probably collected it at one point or another. Pogs. I still got my Slammers. I got a O.J. Simpson one and a Michael Jordan one, still great condition. I even did Magic the Gathering back in the day. So, if it's on a card, I probably have it still, or I had it at one point or another. Yeah, ripping packs will make a memory, though, because when you rip a pack and then you end up getting a card, you'll never forget it. Like, I remember when I got a David Robinson rookie card when I was like 7, and the card I think escalated to like $40-50, but now it's only worth like 10 or 15. It was like a highlight of like my year. And obviously in the junk wax era in the 80s and 90s, a lot of that stuff got overproduced. But still, to have that memory. And then also when Shaq was a rookie in 92, I was 10, and it was like the biggest thing, in sports cards at the time. It's like Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards, Frank Thomas, Leaf cards, and then obviously getting into Stadium Club, Flair, and some of the other, brands that they were coming out with, Chrome and whatnot. But, to be able to, get a Shaq rookie card. I remember I went to the card shop and I bought 5 packs of hoops, and I literally got a Shaq rookie card in every pack. And it was like, John Paxson, Mark Bryant, Shaq, and then the same set of cards were in that every single pack, but it was just like one card off. But for whatever reason, I ended up getting a Shaq rookie in every pack. I ended up trading away like most of them, but I still have one that I hung on to from a childhood, and then I, obviously traded for like the Stadium Club one, traded for the Fleer, the hoops, redemption cards, stuff like that. So sometimes you can't put a price, on a card when you get it out of a pack. Even though it has that monetary value, sometimes the memories are worth more than the actual card itself. And so, I'm never going to, it's like, even if you wanted to sell it, you're not going to get that much value. But again, sometimes that, that value and that prestige and, those things that you have towards that card, the memory is worth more than the card itself. Run to first. Safe. Cartier, there we go. 2-0 Kraken. Trident's up. Let's go. Yeah, seems like we got a lot in common. Well, the main reason I did Magic the Gathering, because I was always friends with everyone, like there'd be like the car guys, the quote unquote like nerdy guys, the sport guys. And I never was like a hater towards anyone. I always was friends with everyone. Doesn't matter what age, what race, or what kind of things that you like. Like, you never know if you're going to exclude some people just based on what they like. You'll never know who they really are. And I remember when I started getting into Magic the Gathering, I got into it because I tried to be able to hustle. So that way when we would play games one-on-one, that we would bet. And so that way, like, I could get Shivan Dragon in the red deck, or I could get Force of Nature in the green deck. and Leviathan in the blue deck. And so if you played Magic the Gathering when it first came out, like around the 90s, and a lot of that stuff, it's, obviously I never got the opportunity to get like the Black Lotus, and that's like the top card that you could have gotten back when the first Series 1 came out. But, trying to get like the top card in each color, and I would always try to hustle and play, these people, and they were always looking at me weird because I was kind of like the sport guy, and they probably thought I was out of place playing with a bunch of these other guys I just loved, but Magic the Gathering. But I had a great time meeting those guys. Some of them were hippie type guys, and we bonded. And you never know. A certain thing that's out there. If you don't give it a shot, you may never know like how cool it really was. And I'm really happy that I had an open mind and decided to play. And these guys, all of the quote unquote like Magic the Gathering kind of like nerdy guys, based off the people that would try to like make fun of them. Dude, they taught me everything, like how to play, where to go, what cards were good, where to go to be able to trade and everything. So, they gave me all the inside information, and then I just ran with it from there. But it's funny too, because I still have in the closet like the Shivan Dragon, the Leviathan, the Force of Nature. It's just cool to be able to go back and look at those things that I might have been able to, collect or play with people. But I haven't played with anybody MTG for a long time. But I really did enjoy the artwork on the cards and actually playing with different people and whatnot. It was nice. We're in the bottom of the fourth, 4-2 Mariners. And I always try to build up every single color. So it's like green deck, white, red, black. So I'd always try to get all of the expensive cards, from other people and at the card shop and trade and whatnot. And that run lasted probably about 4 years that I was pretty heavy into it. And then I just decided, as I got older and I transferred schools, I had no one to play it with, but they just kind of, sat in the closet. I still got them though. They're in there somewhere. Bottom of the fourth, we got bases loaded. Come on, Luis. Pitches inside, 1-1 count. Yeah, Magic community is cool. You know what I mean? Like, you get such a wide variety of personalities that play. Dungeons and Dragons, that's, cool. The fantasy stuff, it's cool. I mean, I loved Pogs when they came out, still have some. I don't have any of my Pogs anymore, but I do have the Slammers still. O.J. Simpson Slammer, where he's like behind bars, holding the bars, and on the back it's got the car driving away from the cops. I won a lot of Pogs with that O.J. Simpson and Slammer, because it was like hard metal, and a lot of the other people's Slammers were like plastic. But I got a really cool Michael Jordan plastic Slammer, still in the plastic, never been used, and I ended up digging that up a couple years ago, and I was like, wow, I still have this. Very cool. It's cool to be able to rekindle those memories that you had when you were little. Nice. You did tourneys? Nice. That's awesome. And it's amazing to see how much some of those cards are worth now from like the mid-90s. When I was playing, when I was like, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. I wish I would have bought more packs back then and just hung on to them. If I would have known like the value would have increased that much, and how many Magic the Gathering, also Pokemon. I should have, I wasn't too smart about that, but if I would have known what I know now, man, if I would have, a lot of the like original Pokemon Series 1, man, I had like unlimited access back in the day too. Bottom of the fourth, 1 out. Bases loaded, 4-2 Mariners. Oh, the Cartier goal got challenged, and what was it, offside? I don't know. I just think collectible stuff is cool. It's a cool way to bond, and it's a cool thing to be able to, just collect. You can always do the standard sports cards and toys and whatnot, but to be able to, go outside the box and collect those type of things it's very cool. I mean, hell, I was collecting like Ninja Turtle cards. They had these like pro set like rocker cards from like the 80s and 90s that had like the hair bands like Poison and and like those old school bands. And I remember I would buy cards of those. Like if it was pretty much a card, I was going to buy it, or I would have my parents try to beg them to buy it for me. It's cool to be able to like go back and look at those type of memories. Bottom of the fourth, 4-2 M's. Let's go. Oh, we walked them. Raleigh scores 5-2 M's. Let's go. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Nice job, Louise. Not to chase for this and just to be patient in the box. Almost hit him in the face. And let's bring in a run. 5-2 Mariners. Cal, come home, baby. There we go. We're winning this game tonight. I saw that Shane was coming up. Next up for the Mariners, shortstop J.P. Crawford. So fresh and so clean. Let's go, JP. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. But that was one thing that I feel that, you know, people don't realize, you know, if you like, you know, kind of cancel out certain types of people, you'll never know, you know, the things that you might end up really loving, you know, in your life. And that's why I was always, you know, really cool with everybody. Go, baby, go. Got him at home. Shit. Ending the inning. Freeman with an amazing throw to home. Who was that? Was that Ty France? Well, Ty France is slow as shit. Ty France is really slow. That's tough. You got to lose a little bit more weight there. But hey, we got a 5-2 lead, so I'll take it. Oh yeah, like even here, you know, just like in the studio, you know, just to be able to look over and just to see like, you know, toys on toys just stacked up. I got like WCW, you know, figures in the box, Macho Man and Hogan from like the NWO era, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin from Japan. You know, I got a Heath Ledger Dark Knight figure before he passed away. You know, a couple of McFarlane chases, all kinds of Griffies and Randy Johnsons and Edgars and, you know, old school Hot Wheels from like the 70s and the 80s. You know, it was weird too, because like I said, when I ended up, you know, coming back to my childhood home, a lot of people, when they have toys and cards, sometimes like your mom or your dad or whoever you're living with end up like, you know, selling that stuff or giving it away. But luckily I ended up finding like one of my old like Thriftway or, you know, Safeway, you know, grocery, you know, bags. And I opened it up, and like all of my childhood stuff was like still in there, like He-Man, Skeletor, Matchbox, Hot Wheels, Ninja Turtles, you know, like the little Muscle Men, like anything that you can remember from like the 80s and the 90s. And it was just so cool to be able to open that up, because I know I'm like the only one in my friend group here in Oregon that actually has their toys from when they were a kid. You know, and I'm 41. I don't look it. You know what I mean? But I started collecting really early, around, you know, probably 3-4 years old. So to be able to find stuff, you know, early in the childhood, later on in life, you know, again, I think that's why it's so special that if you end up not having your toys, if you go on eBay and then you pick up a toy that you used to have and play with as a kid, the nostalgia is like crazy. Or even watching an old cartoon that you watched when you were young. You know, for me, it's like G.I. Joe, Transformers, Ninja Turtles. So if I watch those cartoons from 85, 86, 87, like, the smile is ear to ear, and like you can't put a price on that kind of memory. Top of the fifth, 5-2 Mariners. 0-2 pitch from Hancock to Kwan, 1-2 count. But I think it's a big part of the mental health too. You know, just finding something that you can be happy with and something to look forward to. 1-2 pitch to Kwan, fouled off. Stays 1-2. You're taking care of your mental health. Only got one. Make sure you're doing the right things to win the day. 1-2 pitch fouled off again. Come on, Hancock. Go, Emerson. Let's go, baby. One-two pitch to Quan. Low and inside. 2-2 count. That's one thing that if I had the proper friend group back in the day, I would have totally been all over that. Quan, foul. But again, sometimes you have to have the proper friends and friend group to get into that type of stuff, you know? It's like, I know I watched NASCAR as like a kid, and then I took a break from it for like, 10 or 15 years because I didn't have anyone to talk about NASCAR with, It's like, I loved Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator, watching, Jimmy in his prime and Jeff Gordon in his prime and Smoke, Tony Stewart, but then as I started this dream and with the channel, 12 years ago, I started to realize, I'll be able to meet people that have the same type of passion and love for, other things rather than just football, or just wrestling, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, NASCAR, UFC, boxing, or whatever it may be. Yorkie, there we go. Hancock, right on the zone. 0-1 count. Let's go, baby. 5-2 Mariners. Jimenez in the box. After this. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 1-2 count. Let's go. Grew is in goal. Nice. Popped up. Canzone. There we go. 2 away. Nice job, Canzone. Yeah, it's cool camaraderie when you can find people that have similar interests, to be a part of something, and I always kind of knew that my voice was going to be my destiny and essentially it was going to be my passion project. I already knew early on that, I was going to use my voice for wherever I was going to, do my, current dream. But it's once you get to a point where you're selling, for Comcast or DirecTV and you're making really good money, but it's very high pressure, type of sales with these big companies and whatnot. And there's a lot of if you don't hit your numbers, you get fired in a week or two. So there's a lot of pressure, but I was blessed enough to be able to, do that type of job for about half of my life. But, at some point you realize even if the money is good, I don't want to be doing this for my whole life, even if I know I'm good at it. So, and it's always something I can fall back on because of my expertise. Obviously in that world for cable, internet, and phone for residential or for businesses. But, of course, being able to talk about sports and life and pop culture and music and wrestling, and just being able to be myself and to be able to interact with people. It took a lot of hard work, to be able to get to this point, but we still got a long ways to go. Top of the 5th, 5-2 Mariners. Full count against Jose Ramirez. Ramirez pops up. Canzone is there. Got him. There we go. Nice job. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th. All right, leading off for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a K, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Try dance up. Come on, man. We need you to go yard. You're overdue. You're one of the top 10 players in Major League Baseball. We need you to step up. Let's go, baby. Batting second, 0 for 2. Second baseman, Jorge Polanco. He struggled a little bit, obviously here in 2024, and hopefully he'll pick it up. And batting third, 0 for 2. Welcome back to the Mariners, right fielder, Mitch Haniga. Yeah, it's a grind, and it's tough sometimes, but again, it's like, make a lot of money and either, be depressed or not happy, or, maybe not make as much, but you're doing your dream, and I've always been a very, committed, loyal, person. And I always, I'm going to put in 150% in everything that I do. But luckily I was, blessed enough to have the insight, to be able to cash in, on that Jordan rookie when I was 21. And I remember in 2003, it was LeBron's rookie year, and the economy was really bad. And, a Michael Jordan PSA 9 rookie card was worth about $2,500. And I ended up winning an auction out of like 50 people for $1,000. I got the Jordan PSA 9 rookie for $1,000. And I knew that at some point, that if I needed to sell it for my dream, for like equipment or whatever, that would be the best thing to buy with the $1,000 that I had, because I wasn't able to get a Mickey Mantle rookie for $1,000 or a Babe Ruth. But for whatever reason, since the economy was so bad, I was able to cash in, and it's obviously worth $20,000 or $30,000 now. And I wish I still had the card, but again, sometimes you have to make sacrifices, for your dreams to come true, to be able to get the microphones and the speaker and the microphones, the speaker, the iMac, and all of the tools and everything. So I got no regrets. And plus, I ended up having that Jordan rookie from 2003 all the way until like 2016 or 17. So I actually owned it for about 14 years before I decided to sacrifice it for my dream. So if you go to my Instagram, you can see a picture of it on there. I know a lot of people say they have things like that, but they're liars. But I legit, actually owned it. It's funny too, because I had the Clyde Drexler 86 player, which is like, the most coveted basketball set of all time, because they didn't have rookies in 84 or 85 because Fleer didn't exist. They had like star brand cards. So you had everyone that had a rookie in 84, 85, and 86 all in one set. Like Chris Mullin, Karl Malone, Hakeem Olajuwon, Jordan, Drexler, pretty much everybody besides Bird and Magic, and it's just an amazing set. And the Michael Jordan, card obviously is worth like 20 to 30,000. The Clyde Drexler PSA 9 in the same grade is only worth like 60 to 100. So it shows you like the impact of Jordan, on and off the court with the shoes and the clothing line and just being Michael Jordan. So. But I'll tell you, for the days that I ended up having it in my possession, it did make me nervous, because it's like, you have a safety deposit box at the bank, but sometimes you want to be able to look at the card, but also too, you're worried that, you don't want anyone to steal it from you, or to, break in or rob the bank, and all of a sudden it's gone. So there was a lot of worries, that came with it. But I'll tell you, when you actually take it out of all the plastic and you're looking at the graded version in the PSA 9 holder, like it felt like I was holding like a gold bar or something like magical. It was a very like out of body experience, because most people never hold something that's worth that much as a piece of cardboard in their hands. And, even at the time, when I ended up, selling it, when it was worth, maybe like $6,000 or $7,000, for it to go up, to this amount. I mean, if I would have hung on to it, once he passes and dies, it's going to be worth 100, 150,000 in that grade, so I definitely sacrificed a lot. It could have been, a business opportunity. It could have been a car. It could have been a down payment on a house. But again, sometimes things happen for a reason, and you got to sacrifice things for your dreams to come true. Bottom of the fifth, 5-2 Mariners. But before I die, I definitely want to be able to go back and hopefully, try to get that same card again, down the road before I die, or at least get like an 8, a PSA 8, or a BGS 8, something solid that, maybe not 20 to 30,000, but that tier below, But that was the most expensive piece of memorabilia that I ever owned. But again, $20,000, $30,000, dollar card, or 20,000 subscribers and doing my dream, So again, I don't have any regrets. (3-1) Kraken, nice. Bottom of the fifth, 5-2 Mariners. 1 out, runner at first. Sandlin, and he's throwing crazy sliders and sinkers. Come on, Haniger. Let's go, Mitch. 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts. Let's go. Well, it's also, too, being able to, do this channel, and no one ever taught me how to do anything. I never knew how to use a green screen or make a thumbnail or to do anything. So for me to be able to be where I was when I first started, where the channel is now and what it looks like, I'm super proud of it because it allows me to be able to show you my personality and show you, my skill set, based on my creativity process on being able to be an artist, with the thumbnails as well as the presentation of the channel as well. Because there's no channel that really is like mine, compared to everybody else that's out there. Everyone has, their own style and whatnot, but it allows me to, kind of show who I am, as far as a YouTuber and a streamer and as well as an artist. Julio, get back to first, baby. If you don't got chat etiquette, you get the Hollywood Hogan boot, baby. Pitch is low in the dirt, 2-2 count. .95 to go. 5-2 M's, bottom of the fifth. Runner at first, 1 out, 2-2 count. There we go. Julio with a stolen bag. Let's go. Nice job, Julio. I like it, baby. Nice job. Julio's a great base runner. Good anticipation there. Bottom of the fifth, 5-2 Mariners. Second stolen base of the season for Julio Rodriguez. Another walk. There we go. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1 with a run and a base on ball, DH, Mitch Garver. Let's go, Miach. But another real good benefit about, being able to work as hard as I have to be able to build this channel the way that it is, to be able to help people with mental health. Just because I've gone through a lot of depression and anxiety myself. So a lot of hosts, on Twitter, or not Twitter, but like on YouTube and Twitch, some of them will go over their personal experiences, but some don't. But I feel that, to be able to be honest and genuine and real, some are, but a lot of them aren't. And, I'm always going to be the same way off stream than on, but it gives a kind of a way for you to be able to connect. Understanding that it's not just someone that's a host or a streamer, that, I go through a lot of the ups and downs just like everybody else. and it's a good way to be able to connect. I don't want anyone to ever be miserable, and whatnot, but sometimes, being able to share those stories and to be able to connect with each other and uplift, that you're going to be able to make a difference, not only in a few people's lives, but many, many lives, on the channel and in my personal life as well. So, it's kind of my destiny to be able to help people, even before I started this channel. Bottom of the fifth, 2 outs, pitching change for the Guardians. Let's go. Lauren in the building, what's good? Reflect in the building, what's good? Just the fiber from Odin earlier in the stream, and that's it so far. But maybe we'll get some more before the stream ends. Yeah, I appreciate that. And also, too, I feel that with the channel, we cover more sports and wrestling, overall on a like an elite level than any other channel. A lot of channels like Brandon's, right, is specifically, geared towards the Seahawks. So mine isn't specifically just Mariners or just Ducks, which I could have, gone that route and just had Duck fans only or Mariner fans only. But again, we're not fair weather, right? We're fanatics. So obviously being able to incorporate many, many sports, many things of promotions of wrestling, and then also to incorporate music and pop culture and mental health. I like try to bring as many things, into one particular location so we can all bond and vibe. And that way you get a different, types of people, not just fans of one particular team. You're going to get a little bit of everybody, that's out there. And it takes a lot of effort to be able to try to be an expert, on all levels: baseball, basketball, football, hockey, UFC, pop culture, whatever it may be. But I love reading and I love doing film study, so that definitely helps. And being able to interact with y'all definitely has saved my life. And just being able to try to be a positive person in this YouTube space, I feel that we need more positivity that's out there. A lot of just kind of childish content that's out there, and for some people that's good, but I like to be able to try to really make a difference, and it ends up being kind of a therapy session on top of enjoying sports and wrestling or whatever the topic is in the stream, and I'm really grateful for that. Bottom of the fifth, 5-2 M's. Lauren and Reflect in the building. They're big Mariner fans. Runners at first and second, 2 outs, 1-1 count. Magic number was 5 runs, 7 and 10 hits. And we're starting to pace pretty well. We're at 5 runs, only 4 hits so far. But getting that big Dominic Canzone 3-run homer, that was unexpected, was awesome. Now we need Cal and Julio to get going, and Polanco and Garv. We still got guys that are kind of ice cold, that we need to get heated up. So we need that electricity out of all the bats, not just a couple, but we need electricity out of all the guys. Come on, Cal. Let's go, Big Dumper. And also, too, I came up with that concept, as an original concept to be able to, make people happy, and to be able to learn about people on what they like and what they don't like, and then being able to remember those things, which shows that you actually care, and to be able to bond with people, based on their favorite players, their favorite things, favorite singers, favorite actors, and just knowing that when someone's having a fucking shitty day, sometimes, being able to do a couple photos is kind of like listening to a song or a TV show or a movie. It's just a different way to be able to bond with people. And, I know it may not, fix everything, but at least when people are here, they're going to feel loved. They're going to feel heard. I'm the most accessible YouTuber on YouTube. And, I feel that, we can make a difference for each other. And that's what it's all about. End of the fifth inning, 5-2 Mariners. Come on, Cal. We still need better production out of Julio Rodriguez. We need better production out of Jorge Polanco. We need better production out of Mitch Garver. And we need Cal Raleigh to get it going. But it seems like everyone else is starting to, but again, it's much better than last year. In the first 60 games, we had one player that was good, Garrett Kelenic, and that was it. So we have to be thankful that we're at the point that we're at. And of course, I think we're going to get better and better as the season goes along. And if you're a true Mariner fan, as you know, in years past, we're typically cold in April and May, slightly better in June, hot in July and August, and then sometimes we fade a little bit in September, but hopefully we can get hot in September, and that'll propel us into October, and then we can, try to do some damage in the playoffs. ALDS, ALCS, World Series, you feel me? 3-1 crack in first intermission. I love that. Let's go. Let's go, baby. So I was mentioning this at the beginning of the stream too. Taxes are due, on April 15th instead of April 16th, typically every year, right? And then you see all those commercials, TurboTax and everything else, and they're like, free. That shit ain't never free. Like, even if you do it yourself, like, for me, I have like one paper that's got like a couple numbers on it. That's it. So I can do it myself. But then to register for federal and state, you end up paying like 120 or 130 bucks. And it doesn't matter if you go to H&R Block and you have someone do it for you, or if I do it myself. It's just crazy, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a lot of false advertising. Oh, this is free. Yeah, depending on what your situation is, you might be able to find like a discounted rate on this form on taxes if it applies to you. But a lot of that free stuff doesn't apply to most people. Most of the time, you're going to have to pay like $50 to $60 for state, 50 to 60 or 65 for federal. And then all of a sudden, just to be able to, file your taxes properly, you're going to have to dish out like 120 to 140 bucks. And if you don't have that extra money to do that, so obviously the grind on Cash App for the next week will go towards paying to turn in my taxes before April 15th. So, but luckily we had a little bit of like a kicker in the state of Oregon. So instead of me being in like eyeballs in debt, from 2022 from last year, where I essentially worked for free the whole year to try to make sure I could get caught up. And that's what happens sometimes when you end up making a lot of money and then you get less money the following year. There is no guaranteed amount for me here on YouTube. Some days you might get a lot, some days you might get nothing. So it's not like a regular job that everyone else has where you're getting $25 an hour and you know exactly what you're getting every 2 weeks or every month. Like for me, I don't know what I'm going to get every month. Hell, I don't even know what I'm going to get every day, and that can get stressful. But, eventually, as long as I'm able to turn that shit in. But luckily, based on, last year, making less money helped. And I'm in a better position, this year for last year's taxes than I was the year before. And I'm telling you, and when you do YouTube, a lot of people don't realize you can't claim 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 ahead of time. Like there is no claiming. So they just end up sending you a paper in the mail or an email, and then you most of the time have to pay. So then if your donos get drastically lower, right, what's exactly what happened to me, you're fucked, and then all of a sudden you're stuck there paying like $5,000 that you don't have, which was ultimately what happened to me, which was, not a lot of people knew that, and so I'm grinding, pretty much working for free every day, to be able to pay that back. And all the way to the wall. Oh, out of here. Oh, Alpha's glove for a homer. Tyler Freeman. But it feels good not to be in that same type of situation, this year for last year. So I guess sometimes making a little bit less is good, but that's the thing about YouTube and Twitch and being a streamer. It's not all peaches and cream. Again, if you end up having the same amount or higher, then you're good. But I can't control if people die. I can't control if people lose their job. I can't control the other things, the economy, being the way that it is. So, it's a tough thing. But again, when you're able to do your dreams, that's really the most important thing. Because, what would I rather work a job where I'm making a hell of a lot more money, but I'm depressed and I hate it, or make less and be happy? And ultimately, I choose to be happy. Yeah, crazy stuff. But I'm definitely in a better position, moving forward from last year and whatnot. So it's like the one time where making less money actually benefited me. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, oh God, now I owe another $5,000 or whatever and whatnot. So it's a lot of stress. Like not only having to pay all of your regular stuff, and then you're like, where the hell is the money going to come for this? So, but again, chase your dreams. If you got dreams and you got goals, chase them. Like I said, you might hit some bumps in the road, but ultimately you'll regret it if you never try. You always want to make sure that if you're passionate, about something, and if you can turn it into a career, you definitely want to at least take the chance, to be able to say, I did everything I could on my end, and either it worked or it didn't, but at least you tried. Big fact. I appreciate you, man. $10 holla from my boy Jordan. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang bang, $10 holla. But I know if I wasn't doing this channel, I would probably be doing like a gaming channel. And if I wasn't doing that, I would probably be making beats with my boy Brooks. He's very, very talented. Or being like a mentor, big brother, obviously in the Boys and Girls Club, or a therapist or a psychologist or a teacher like my dad. So, there's definitely other, opportunities to go down, but to be able to use my voice for positivity and to, do sports and wrestling while doing it and, talking about music and pop culture and mental health. I mean, there's a lot of long days, and not every day is going to be a good day. But ultimately, being able to build these bonds with people like y'all on the channel, that is the most worthwhile thing. Being able to, meet people, build the bonds, and to be able to make a difference in someone's life. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how many cars or houses you have. Ultimately, when it's all said and done, people are going to remember you for what you did and how you made them feel. So, if you can be a good person and go out of your way to be that good person, to make a positive influence in someone's life, that's ultimately what you're going to be judged on at the end of the day. Some people, when they pass, they may only have a couple people that show up. And then you see some people that pass that have hundreds, that show up. And the people that typically have hundreds or thousands that show up, they made a big difference, not only with their family and their friends, but typically in the community. And obviously, whatever else side project that they have with people. Big facts. I appreciate you. What do you want to see for photos? You got any particular Cincinnati Reds that you want me to, what do you want? You want Ken Griffey? You want Johnny Bench? You want Ellie? Who do you want? Chris Sabo. I wish Chris Sabo had some more photos, but you let me know what you want and I got you. $15, 85 to go. Yeah, but I've never gotten to a point, like a lot of times back in the day when I had the other jobs, I would claim like one or whatever. So sometimes, I would get money back, and then other times I would maybe get money back on one and I would have to pay for the other. Like, oh, maybe I have to pay federal, but I get state back. So it's not too bad. But in the last few years prior to me going full-time on the channel, it seemed like in the state of Oregon with federal and the Oregon state taxes, that it was starting to become a point where you had to pay no matter what. Even if you were claiming one, or you were claiming something where you had money taken out of your paycheck, but still at the end of the year, the last few years, if you had a regular job, it seemed like you still would have to pay. But I never got into a situation where I thought, hell, how the hell am I going to end up paying for this? And I'll be honest, my mental health, ended up taking a big hit. And, to have that pressure on how much money that you're owed, I'm not saying I ever was thinking about, certain things, with my life, but, obviously dark thoughts ran across my mind. It's like you have rent, that's like, $800-900, then you have this big, debt that's owed, and you're not making enough money to be able to take care of all of these things. And my mental health was at the gutter, even though I'm trying to be able to help others all the time and whatnot. And thank God I was able to, get away, from the people that were negative in my life, and to be able to, try to get my life back on track. You never know how people are doing mentally inside, even if it looks like they're successful and happy, not everyone is going to know the real story, and of course I didn't have to share this type of story, with you guys, but, to give you guys kind of like the true reality, of being like a streamer, on Twitch or on YouTube, it's not all peaches and cream, there's going to be a lot of ups and a lot of downs, and you guys have definitely made my mental health better, and I'm glad I'm here and I'm living. Paisley saved my life. You guys saved my life, and I appreciate you guys for that. 5-3 Marinez. But again, I'm always genuine and honest and real, and I know a lot of people on YouTube and Twitch aren't, and they're not going to talk like this. But again, it's like suicide and people taking their lives. I've had more and more of my friends do that. I've had 3 people die within the last 2 months. And so make sure you're checking up on your friends, even if you think they're doing okay. A lot of times you don't know the internal battles that people are going through. Pitch right down the middle on the corner there for a strike. Bottom of the 6th, 5-3 Marinez. Bottom of the 6th, 0-1 count. Runner at first. Smith on the mound. Dominic Canzone in the box. But I always like to be transparent, be genuine, be real. And, I don't ever say anything for like shock value. I just try to be able to be honest, and where I am. If I'm doing good, you're going to know. If I'm doing bad, you're going to know. But I'm always going to be 100. I'm not going to be fake. I'm always going to, just be genuine and honest and real. That's the only way I really know how to be. And that way I think, it comes across when you watch someone. So. Big swing and a miss. Got him. That was a nasty pitch, huh? Reflect. Urias. Luis. Rojas has actually been doing pretty well for us at third base, and I think he's going to be a better player than Luis, but we still need someone like Eugenio Suarez. Obviously he struck out a lot, but being a top 10 third baseman, he might not be Manny Machado or Nolan Arenado, but Eugenio Suarez brought good vibes, obviously in the dugout with JP and Julio. He could hit 30 to 40 homers. He could defend at third really well. But he did strike out a lot. I do understand that, but I will miss him, and I'm hoping at some point or another, unless Rojas or Luis can fill that gap and fill that role, at some point in the next couple years, we're going to have to look for a high-end third baseman, unless someone can develop into that, like Harry Ford, developing into our future starting catcher at some point or another. Bottom of the 6th, 5-3 Marinez. Runner at first, 1 away, 1-2 count. Yeah. It's a thing. Mental health is so important. That's why the impact of pets like cats and dogs, how big that is, in your life, especially if you don't have a lot of maybe like positive people specifically like in your life, like at home or nearby. Sometimes being able to lean on a cat or a dog can save your life, and then also having those good people in your life too. But everyone's situation is a little bit different on how they handle things, but again, we'll always try to make sure that we're there for each other here. Next up is JP Crawford. Let's go, JP. Bottom of the 6th, 2 outs, runner at first. JP, big swing and a miss. Let's go, JP. So fresh and so clean. Eugenio Suarez, and then Joey Votto. Nice. I mean, all I had to do is see like one interview of Eugenio Suarez and like how he talks to the, you know, the manager, the teammates, you know, the community, the fans, you know, and I was like, I like this guy. You know, like I said, you got to have guys that give you that juice and give you that natural energy where you can feed off them. And I feel like JP and Julio and Eugenio Suarez were like those guys. You know, those were the guys that would uplift the others when they might have been in a slump or depressed. And you can lean on those guys to uplift everyone. And I try to do the same on my part here on the channel. You know, it's like, some days are tough for me, but at the end of the day, if I know that I'm making a difference for at least one person, you know, if I'm checking up on them or, you know, if I can make their day, then I've accomplished something. Bottom of the 6th, 5-3, Seattle. 2 outs, runner at first, 2-2 count by Smith. Crawford 0 for 3 with a K. JP, line drive. Inning over. Let's go to the top of the 7th. All right, next up for the Guardians in the top of the 7th. 1-for-1, Ketcha, Bo, Naylor. Batting second, playing shortstop, Brian Rocchio. And batting third, left fielder, Steven Kwan. Let's go, Ems. We hit the pinnacle. We hit the 5. I felt that we were, going to get some runs today. I mean, like I said, when me and Reflect were talking earlier, I figured Emerson Hancock would give up 3 to 4 runs, and that's exactly what he did. He gave up 3, not 4, but again, we had a good enough lineup on paper, I thought, today, where, you're going through a 5-hole guy and a 5-hole guy. You're not getting a 1 versus a 5, in the rotation. And I felt, hopefully some of the bats will heat up. I did not predict Canzone would be the guy hitting a 3-run jack, but I'm glad he did. But it's not over yet, and I still would like to get a couple more insurance runs just in case. But we are sitting pretty good at this point with a 2-run lead, but it could evaporate within a half inning, and we know that. With me, it depends. Sometimes, when I watch a game, it'll be on the Mariner feed. Sometimes when I watch a game, it'll be on the visiting feed. Sometimes I'll use a streaming site, to be able to watch the game. It all depends, like I said, because at my other location that I had a cable box in the studio, and this one I don't. But then I also can have access, to the email, through if you have an email account through DirecTV or Comcast, you can actually, use that email account, and then you can actually stream the game through that. So there's many ways that I typically can watch the game, but it kind of varies based off each game. Single to right field by Naylor. All right, Bo, I see you. You got a Josh Naylor and a Bo Naylor in the lineup. Next up, Brian Rocchio. Bryan. I've seen a lot of Major League Baseball players and guys in AAA, AA, single A that they're spelling their name like that now. Not Brian, not Bryan, but Brayan. A unique spelling. Brash, Bazardo, Santos, Kowar. Look at all those guys on the IL, and the one that we need the most is Brash. Nice little single bloop there. Next up, Steven Kwan. 0 for 3. Safe on a fielder's choice and an RBI. Batting .304 with 1 homer and 3 ribbies in 2024. Pitches outside, 1-1 count. Got Gabe Spire in the game. Let's go, Gabe. Runner goes, foul back. Let's go, Gabe. Yeah, and sometimes that's what you have to do. You know, you got to be able to find ways. I got 2 that I use. And again, sometimes there'll be a little bit of a delay, but not usually too much. It's like, you know, usually 15 to 25 seconds. The most I think I've ever seen a delay is like 30. But the funny thing is, if you stream it through an app, you know, a lot of times it'll still have that same type of delay as a streaming site that might be in like Europe or whatever, or Australia. So even if you're going through your cable provider or your TV provider, sometimes there's going to be a slight delay, you know, like 15 seconds or 20 seconds, even if you watch it that way. So unless you're, you know, local, living in Washington and watching it en route, you know, or in Oregon. So. But again, you know, for 15 seconds, you know, behind, you know, 20 seconds. I mean, now if it was like a minute to 5 minutes behind, then that might be an issue. But when you're only behind, you know, like a few seconds, which may only be, you know, a couple pitches or, you know, not even a full at bat, it's, you know, it's not that bad. You got to do what you got to do, what you have to work with, right? So. And I know T-Mobile was giving away some like MLB package, you know, based on, you know, what you have and whatnot. So, yes. There you go. Yeah. Throw to first. Yeah. I mean, they even have like Blazers stuff on there, and you can't even watch the Blazers here in Oregon, even though they're terrible. You know, one of the worst teams. They ended up losing a game by like 60 points a couple days ago, right? But going to the games in person are fun. Not when they lose by 60, though. But again, Root Sports, you know, obviously, you know, some people don't have it. So if you want, like, the Blazer viewership went down more than any other NBA team. Like, it used to be on Channel 8, KGW, so everyone could watch it. And they did. They got greedy. Then it went to Blazer Cable, and then you had to buy that. Then it went to, like, you know, something else, and then Root. So not really ideal, you know, for fans in the Pacific Northwest when you have to go out of your way to watch the team. And then now since Dane left and the team sucks, like, everyone doesn't watch here in Oregon. There's more people in Oregon that follow the Ducks and the Beavers and the Seahawks and the Mariners and the Niners and the Raiders and the Chargers and all the teams on the West Coast, the Kraken. You know, they're going to be following that, but not a lot of people, you know. And then obviously if you live in Washington, you were a Sonic fan, you probably, you know, aren't really watching a whole lot of basketball until the Sonics come back. So, or unless you know, transition to an OKC fan or a Blazer fan. But, you know, I feel like basketball right now, it's at its like lowest than it's ever been. I feel like all the other sports, you know, to me are more exciting. Like, going in person is different, but for me, I would rather watch NASCAR. I'd rather watch baseball. I'd rather watch hockey. I'd rather watch NFL. I'd rather watch college football. I'd rather watch wrestling, AEW, WWE, ROH, NJPW, Impact. Like, literally, I'd rather watch almost anything, you know, than the NBA or college hoops, unless it's March Madness or, you know, NBA playoffs. At least I feel the effort level is there. But when I don't see effort in sports, it's a turnoff for me. Like, I need to see energy and effort, and I need to see passion. And if I don't see passion from the players in the crowd, and I don't see energy, you know, it's not for me. And I feel that, like, certain sports are going to have more of it, but, you know, it is what it is. He said, put back everything on UPN 11. And I miss a lot of like the grandpa announcers. You know, like my dad's been a Dodger fan since the 50s. You know, I love me some Vin Scully, but, you know, Harry Carey, Keith Jackson, who used to do Pac-10 games, loved his voice. You know, I just love Dave Niehaus. But I feel like if you're like the older grandpa, you know, they're the best at storytelling, and they have amazing voices, you know, and they have a voice that you can connect to. And I feel like a lot of the guys that we watch now, you know, not saying that younger people don't have a good voice, you're going to be able to find people that are 20, 30, 40 that are up and coming that have a nice voice that isn't cringy to listen to. And thank God, you know, compared me to a lot of the other streamers that do sports, I feel that my voice is unique, and I feel that it suits what I do. You know, there's going to be people that have more subs that are more popular than me, but as far as like my tonality and my voice inflection and the way I sound on stream, you know, obviously doing phone sales for 20 years, you know, that obviously helped me being able to, you know, talk to people on a regular basis. So it kind of comes as a second nature, but, you know, everyone is going to connect with a voice, and, you know, some voices are just going to be plain and simple better than others. Big facts. Bottom of the 7th, 5-3 Mariners. Julio Rodriguez in the box. Let's go, Julio. But it's like, you know, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. You know, they're not terrible, but I wouldn't say that they're necessarily good. But I think Joe Buck is better, you know, in baseball. Like when I hear Bob Costas, you know, I don't mind, you know, the baseball voice. He's very baseball. When I hear Joe Buck, I think baseball. When I hear Joe Buck in football with Aikman, I don't think it's not terrible, but it's not great, you know. But I guess it depends if you're an NFC fan or an AFC fan, and if you like Tony Romo and you know, and you like the vibes that you're getting, you know, on that end as well. Bob Uecker, yeah. And like Jim Nantz, you know, he's great. He's the best one doing play-by-play, you know, on the NFL side. You know, even if you're an AFC fan, I think their broadcasts are a little bit more entertaining than Aikman and Joe Buck. But I like energy and passion. So it's like, give me Gus Johnson, you know, calling NFL games in the future. You know, him in college football, Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt, or Gus Johnson. And then who else was it? Gus Johnson and let me think. Like, who did Gus Johnson do it before Joel Klatt? I'm trying to remember who it was. It was the other brother that he was with. It's on the tip of my tongue for whatever reason. I'm like having a brain fart. But you guys, you know, I think he does stuff on like Fox Sports and whatnot. But some of y'all will, you know, eventually look it up and you'll be able to know who I'm talking about. But I thought that those pairings were good, and I think Gus and Joel are great. You know, obviously Joel will give you the color, and then Gus gives you that play-by-play and whatnot. But I like that energy in the voice. Like Gus Johnson makes, you know, anything sound exciting. You know, like literally it could be like Louisville and UCF, and normally I wouldn't give two shits about that game. But if Gus is calling it like in the morning, maybe I'll, you know, at 9 a.m., maybe I'll pay attention. So. Nice. Oh, go. Got him at home. Julio, what are you doing? Julio, what was that? Julio. Charles Davis, that's who I was thinking of. The guy that did the color before Joel Klatt. There you go. I knew somebody that watches college football would remember Charles Davis and Gus Johnson. That was the original pairing, and I thought they were great together. They both fed off the energy together, and I thought, Joel Klatt doesn't have the same energy as Charles Davis, but Joel Klatt gives you the intelligence, and he bounces off Gus really well, with his intelligence, his research, and the way that his voice sounds. So I think both pairings were great. And, like I said, they made, football exciting. There you go. I knew someone would get it. Oh, Julio, just running the sign. I mean, come on, bro. I get it. You stole second, and then you got cocky trying to steal home. You should have just let it be and stay at third. And that inexperience, you're in your third year. And again, the comparisons for Julio and Griffey, we can't be talking like that. Julio is nowhere near Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Jr. is an icon and a legend, you know what I mean? And again, Julio may be able to get to that point at some point, in his career, but he's nowhere near that, He's got a long ways to go. I didn't think that improving his, base running would be a concern in 2024, but here we are. Defense, pretty good in the outfield, even though he ended up giving a home run there. Now, he stole second, but then he got thrown out at home. Consistency is everything. Consistency is king. Cal Raleigh, we got runners at first and second with 2 outs, 5-3 Mariners. Let's go, Cal. Charles Davis. And most of the time when I'm thinking of someone, it's like in my brain. I can remember things from 40 years ago, 38 years ago. I can remember. Sometimes people can't remember what they had for dinner the night before, but I can remember, players' names from when I was like 7, based on sports card collecting and just watching games. But I don't know why I brain farted on Charles Davis, but there it is. Gal fouled off towards first. Kevin Harlan and Kurt Warner. But everyone's going to have their favorites, in basketball, baseball, football, hockey. Icons are made. But again, and the thing I like about Gus Johnson, too, is that he's not trying to be over the top. He's just himself. And he just has that natural passion and energy and inflection in his voice. Because you can always tell when people are being fake. Like when you watch people on Twitch or YouTube or when you watch people on TV trying to be extra and you can tell that they're being fake and they're just trying to get a rise out of the audience. I don't like that. I like when that passion is genuine. And I feel like Gus gives you that natural tonality, inflection in his voice, and he's fully invested in every game that he does. And I don't know if you can say that about any other crew. I know Joe Buck and Troy Aikman prepare. We're going to see Tom Brady at some point. Obviously with Brenneman, you got Jim Nantz and you got Romo. But, for my dollar, if it's not some of the OG guys like Niehaus and Vin Scully and Harry Carey and Keith Jackson doing Pac-10 Oregon Duck games and Pac-10 games, if it's not a grandpa, then if it's going to be someone younger, I better get that energy, and I feel like I'm a high energy person. I'm 41, but I'm always going to feel like in my head, I'm a college kid, 18 to 21. My energy will always match a college kid's energy or someone that's like Elliot's age or Matt's age. Now, as far as the intelligence, I try to be able to learn from people that are older than me and have that knowledge and try to be an old soul of someone older than myself, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, and having that knowledge. So having the knowledge of someone that is older and then having the passion and be able to relay that as someone that's younger, I try to give you that full spectrum when we end up doing these streams. Top of the 8th, 5-3 Mariners. Julio doesn't know how to run bags. Come on, bro. You're supposed to be the superstar on the team. Stop fumbling the bag. We're already having problems with Jorge Polanco and Mitch Garver and a lot of the others on the team. The last thing we need to worry about is you. Come on, guy. Come on, Julio. My goodness. The thing that makes Vin Scully arguably the GOAT and like the greatest is if you actually listen to him storytell, for those, many, many, many decades. I don't think I've ever heard someone, storytell the way that he did in sports. I think by far he was like number one in storytelling. So in between innings, and some people would have to have 2 or 3 in the booth. Vince Scully could have 2 or 3 people with him, but he was so good that he could literally entertain by himself just because of the memories and the knowledge and the passion and the reading and the film study and his personal experiences from being a young man all the way to being a grandpa. Like that stuff can't just be taught. It was personal experiences, and I love listening to him, go over. Some people thought he would ramble, but for me, I never thought he was really rambling ever. I loved everything that he did. Rest in peace, Vince Scully. We got Munoz in, baby. Andres Munoz in the 8th and the 9th. Let's go, baby. We're going to go multiple photos for Munoz because we need to finish this game out. Two-one pitch, fouled off, 2-2 count, and obviously, yeah. Brash, Munoz, Seawald. Brash injured, Munoz here, Seawald on the Diamondbacks. So hopefully Munoz can be that guy. I think Munoz could easily do 2 innings. I think that we were actually losing games because, that he wasn't doing that, more often. Now, if you got Seawald and Munoz, then one can be in the 8th, one can be in the 9th, and Brash can do the 6th or the 7th. It's like we want to stay away from Saucedo and all the others as much as possible. Foul ball. And like Gabe Spire and some of the others, sometimes it's good, but I like Brash, the most. So, even if it meant, sometimes going Brash in the 6th and the 7th, or just the 7th, and then Munoz going in the 8th and the 9th, so be it. But, those are the guys that I trust the most. But even with that being said, right, even with Brash and Munoz and Seawald, sometimes they were great, and sometimes they got fucked up, and they got rocked. And we saw what happened in Seawald in the World Series. As good as he was for us, he got absolutely fucking destroyed. So again, the Diamondbacks were the underdog there. I still think Seawald is a good pitcher, but Munoz at the knees, 3-2 count. Munoz, that could have been a wild pitch. Come on now, Andres Munoz, breathe, brother. RELAX, relax. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Love ya, and I appreciate you. Yeah, got that one on the shin. That one looked like it hurt. Popped up. Canzone. 1 away. Ramirez, sit down. Next up, first baseman Josh Naylor. 0 for 3 with a flyout last at bat. Season 333 average, no homers, and 1 ribby. Big swing and a miss. Got him to chase there. 0-1 count. Pitch in the dirt. Come on, baby. Let's go. I need some of this. Give me that K, baby. Back. Gone. Golly. Thank God we have 5 runs. If we had 4, we'd be in big trouble. Josh Naylor, solo homer for the season. Andres Munoz, hit the showers. But we have no choice. He's the best one that we got. Anyone that we bring in will be worse than him. Brutal. Naylor rocking the baby. Tough. Next up, center fielder Tyler Freeman. 1 for 3 with a run and an RBI. Magic number for the Mariners all year, 7 to 10 hits, 5 runs or more. And sometimes that 5 runs won't be enough. It might be enough tonight, but we're getting tested to the limits here. He should be. It's 3 hours difference. It's only 6:02 in Hawaii. He's looking at Taylor Swift photos on the side on his iPad. I can't wait for O-Dog to put these Taylor Swift stuff. Duck players, Taylor Swift, duck photos. Boom shakalaka. Two away. Kraken 3, Sharks 2. Better not lose to the Sharks. I know we're on the road, so it's going to be still difficult regardless of who we play, but looks like the focus has been very good today for Seattle, based on what you've been telling me and what I'm reading and what I'm looking at on socials. Top of the 8th, 5-4, 2 outs, and it shows you how important the bullpen is. Bullpen is so important to, the game of baseball. Once the starting pitcher goes out, it's a brand new ball game, and then usually the other team has got 3 innings to come back, or sometimes 4 or more, depending on when the starting pitcher gets pulled. But if it goes 6, you got the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning to make some history and have a little bit of magic. And man, tough. Nikki is rooting for the Guardians. You guys got a little bit of Uncle Mo. The tablet goes through the window if we lose to the Sharks. Yeah, it's like losing to the bottom feeder. That would not be good. Big swing and a miss, 1-1 count. We got Florial in, pinch hitting. Let's go, Munoz. 0-2 count, ahead of the count. Smoke him. There we go. There we go. Finally. Andres Munoz. Let's go. 5-4 Mariners. In the bottom of the 8th. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Love you, appreciate you. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Analytics and metrics matter. I appreciate y'all. And if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Like I said, if people, don't feel like commenting or if they can't donate, that's fine. But if you're in the room, smash the like button if you haven't done already. It'll help with analytics and metrics, and it'll help us get there. We're way behind on that. Matt has been slacking. We're way slacking on there because before I said that, we weren't even at 10, and that's ridiculous. We got to be hitting closer to the 15 to 20 number, depending on how many people we have in the room. And then if we have more, then, we can try to shoot for 25 or 30. But that's something, obviously that needs to be addressed throughout the stream. And I know Matt will get better at that as we do streams on a daily basis, but that's something that cannot be neglected. We have to make sure that we're getting that, based on the amount of people that we have watching. Because the more people that you end up having that are interacting in the comments, donating, and even just hitting the like button, all those stats and analytics go through the algorithm. So we want to make sure that we're hitting our potential, and giving reminders if people are just, getting caught up in the stream. So big facts. Let's go. Bottom of the 8th, 5-4 Mariners. Sure, I can do that. $5 holla. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little cactus jack, bang bang, $5 holla. Matt fell asleep, went to the bathroom, came back, looking at Taylor Swift photos. Got to make sure you're keeping up with the likes and the whole process, my guy. Appreciate you, Reflect. Let's go. Yeah, something as simple as just hitting the like button. It seems kind of like, not that a big of a deal, but if you do YouTube or anything on socials, that shit matters. The more interactions and the more support, it goes into that algorithm. It really does make a difference. So that way, if it hits the algorithm to a certain point based on what people are doing, you might get recommended, on other people's timeline, and you can have a big, jump. Almost not like necessarily a raid, but it can feel like one. And you can get a big jump from 47 people to 97 people, just based on the algorithm. So. Bottom of the 8th, 1 out, 0-1 count. We're up by 1. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Pop valve by Canzone. 1 for 3. 3-run jack earlier. Let's go. Can we bring the Mariner Moose out? I haven't brought the Mariner Moose out too often, normally for home runs. Two away. Next up, third baseman, Luis Urias. Let's go. Mariner Moose wants it. We need a dub, baby. What do you say? Let's go. So many button clicks, baby. People would have no idea how many button clicks I do throughout a stream and how many screens that I have up. I have my own stream, the game, multiple other pages open. Like if you have like OCD, you might not be able to be a streamer. you really have to make sure that you can multitask like a mofo. Like if you can't multitask, it's very difficult to be a successful streamer. Moose is loose, baby. Bottom of the 8th, 5-4, Mariners. I'm almost done with Deadwood. I got a couple episodes left. I started Sons of Anarchy. I never watched it from the beginning to end, so I decided, you know what? I watched Mayans MC, when it debuted on FX, and watched that whole, series until it ended. So it's kind of cool to be able to see the Mayans in the first episode and the beef that they had, and some of the same people that I remember watching in the Mayan show. But Katie Seagal and all the rest with Jax. I'm loving the show. It's really, really good. I knew it was good, but I never got a chance to really like in depth and sit down and watch it episode and like binge it. And I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm on like the 4th episode now in the first season, something like that. So Mayans is very good. It's like exactly what you get out of Sons of Anarchy, but it's a lot of that Latino gang, in the biker gangs in California. Badass. It's very good. Like I said, both of those shows could definitely have been on, like HBO or Showtime. Big swing and a miss. End of the 8th inning. Last chance for the Guardians, and we're only up by 1. I wonder if we're going to have a pitching change or if Munoz is just going to go again. We have Hancock, Saucedo, Spire, and Munoz. Might as well just have Munoz go, right? We're going to win or die with Munoz, so we might as well just keep it flowing and keep it moving, right? Mariner Moose, what do you say? You like that? Okay. Huh? He said, you the man. Thank you. Let's go. Reflect, you got anything specific that you want to be able to see? Photo-wise, I got you. Yeah, but it all depends on my mood. Sometimes when you watch, too many things that are like gangster shit, where you're seeing people get stabbed and shot and there's all kinds of crime. Like sometimes if you're in a vibe for that, then you can like watch it. But like for me, sometimes like I like to watch something a little bit more lighter, like a comedy, like Superstore, or like New Girl. Like if I haven't watched that in a while, and then I'll binge something like that at the same time of watching something that's a little bit more intense. Just depending on my vibe, or maybe I'll go like, with Deadwood with like a country kind of, type of vibe with the cowboys and whatnot in the old school era. Shogun, obviously back in the 1600s, I'd highly recommend that, but Shogun is great. I would highly recommend that. And X-Men 97 on Disney Plus, I would recommend that if you watch the X-Men cartoon from back in the day. New episodes are every Wednesday on Disney Plus for that, and I'm enjoying those two right now as well. Peaky got a lot of violence in it, and I guess, it just depends. It's like also too, when I watch like psychological stuff or like horror stuff, I guess if people don't have mental health, they can watch it and it's fine. But I know with me, if I watch too many things in a row with like psychological thrillers or like horror stuff, where people are getting killed, or it's like a psychological thriller, I can usually do like a movie or like a series, but then I'm not going to be able to do it over and over and over. Like it fucks with my mental health too much. So I like to be able to like kind of, keep it light sometimes too. Top of the ninth, 5-4 Mariners, and they bring in Stanek? The hell are we doing? Popped up. One away. Stanek. Stanky. Stanek? Hope they know what they're doing. Bo Naylor up next. We'll give them some love. Match a name to a face. They got Josh Naylor and Bo Naylor on the team, first baseman and catcher. Pitch inside. That is a ball, but called strike right on the corner of the zone. I would have called ball. Hey, we'll take a strike if they're going to give it to us. Pitch is outside. 1-1 count. Big swing and a miss. 1-2 count. Come on, Stanek. Smoke him. Struck out swinging. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Hell yeah. I was very concerned when they had Stanek come out there instead of Andres Munoz, but I wonder is this going to be like a permanent thing, or is this like a tryout? Like, is Stanek going to be the last guy? Is this what we're doing? Is Stanek going to be the Seawald of the team? Or is this just kind of like a let's see what you can do type of thing? Rocchio. Slide out to center. Yeah, baby. Oh, Stanek. Oh, baby. Final score. Mariners 5. Guardians 4. And that magic number, right? What was the magic number that I tell y'all every single Mariner game? Did we hit the pinnacle? 5 runs. Check. Did we get 7 to 10 hits? Let's look. 7. Check. Did we win? Yes, we did. So sometimes analytics and metrics really do matter, and that's the magic number. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, baby, let's dance, baby. Let's dance. And you already know what it is. Let's go. Mariners win. Mariners win. Mariners win. Mariner Moose, get up there, baby. Yeah, let's go. Big victory for the Mariners. Yes, sir. Nice job, boys. Nice job. Mariner Moose loves it. Woo! Let's go. Nice job, Ems. Hell yeah. Big victory. Big victory. Trident's up. Let's go. All right, Reflect, what do you want to do for photos? I got you. So we're going to stay online here for 15 minutes. So that way I'll get some photos. I'll get some photos for Matt, even though that he decided to fall asleep and go pee-pee. And during the stream as lead, got to make sure that, you're grinding away. I think actually, if you're going to be going about this, being able to stay in tune with the game while we're going, because a lot of times, with the mods, they may or may not be watching the same time when we're streaming, but if you're following along, that'll be less time for getting distracted and whatnot. Like I said, because we need to be able to have people on point, throughout the whole stream. It's not going to be an 8-hour commitment every day. It's going to be normally about 2 hours and 30 minutes. And again, we'll have other people, that are going to be able to help and back up, but we got to make sure that we're on the likes, we're on the comments, we're on the donos, and we're interacting, and that way we can work together to take the channel to the next level. Let's go. Final score, Mariners 5, Guardians 4. 3-2 record, baby. Let's go. Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow as well. And then we're Reflect. You got anything that you want to see before you go? I feel if you're not watching the game while we're going, it's very easy to get distracted, to do other things. And it's cool to multitask and do other things if you want to go on your Twitter feed or, you want to be able to look at other things. But again, I need to be able to have reliable people that are going to understand how important this is to me. I need to be able to have consistency, and I need to be able to have people that want to be here, and I need to be able to have people that are going to genuinely help, and we want to make sure we have the right people in the right positions to do that. Guidance up, baby. What do we want to do for photos here for the last 13 minutes? Trident's up, baby. Big victory for the M's. Thank God we got to 5 runs. Oh, we're good. We're good. All right, hold on. I gotta delete some things here to make room for you guys, and then I'll take care of the main peeps. But it reflected, since he donated, he let me know if there's anything specific you want to see, and then we'll do photos for a couple of y'all. Oh, the moose is loose. Oh, baby. Hey. It's by far the best one. Like, that's such a great photo. There's other ones that have like images written over it or it doesn't format, but that one is the best one right there. That's a crispy one. That's a good one. Hold on. Let me send this to Matt so I can format it. Megan all the way from Australia visiting in the States. Mariner Moose playing chess. I love it. Let's go. Mariners win. Mariners win. Mariners win. Casey says, woo, woo, woo. Hi, honey. Hi, my love. Said daddy. But that's my favorite one. Obviously, Megan meeting the Mariner Moose, epic photo. As far as like, finding a photo in the library, there's others that are out there, that will be okay, right? But nothing tops this one. This is by far the best one. Crispy, clean, right there on top of the dugout, HD 4K, beautiful, just like y'all. Almost done, Paisley Pup. We'll eat some dinner and go for another walk. We got 5 minutes, so I'm squeezing it in. I'm squeezing. You want anything besides Taylor or no? Is that what you want? Everyone's got their favorites. Three, two Kraken in the third. Nice. I got you, man. We just got to make sure that, you know, you're focused throughout the stream. You know, we're only going to be doing it for, 2 hours to 3 hours, so in that time period, definitely multitask and do other things if you need to do other things, if you need to step away. But, especially when we have a good amount of people watching on Twitter/X or on YouTube, we need to make sure you're keeping up with the likes and the subs and the donos and the whole spiel, that way that we can maximize every single stream. You got to understand, imagine if you sacrifice, Matt, a $30,000 Jordan rookie card for your dream, and I'm helping you out, and I'm going pee, and I'm falling asleep, and I'm multitasking, looking at websites when I should be helping you out. That would be something that that would need to be addressed. So it's always cool to be able to multitask and do what you need to do, but you got to look at it from my perspective too. If you sacrifice a $30,000 card for your dream, you wouldn't want Oh Doggy Dog to go to sleep and just go somewhere else while you're trying to grind on the stream, right? So always remember, you got to put yourself in my shoes. And then if we always need someone to back you up, to help out, if you're busy, all you got to do is communicate and let me know, and then we can have someone else kind of take over the duties temporarily or for a few minutes or whatever the situation is. You just got to be able to look at it from a different person's point of view, another person's shoes, so to speak. Jennifer Aniston, a true beauty. Not that Taylor isn't. Friends, one of the best sitcoms of all time. Still funny to this day. Chandler Bing. Rest in peace. It's like you're never going to get sitcoms like they were back in like the 80s and 90s. So many good things in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, we'll see what happens. If the breakup happens, there'll definitely be a song about him. Or maybe they'll end up getting married and having kids. We'll have to wait and see on how it goes. Could go multiple ways. They could be together. They might end up getting married. They might end up having kids. They might break up. It's too early to say at this point. Married, having little baby Jason Kelsey's. They're either going to be an athlete or a singer. There'll be some good genes there. Bing bong, bing bong, bing. Anything else that you guys want to be able to see before I go? You guys let me know. I got you. Appreciate all the people that donated, commented, shared. Appreciate that. And if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Spell cheek, spell cheek, spell cheek. Remember, if I'm going out of my way to do Taylor Swift, we need to make sure that we're going, 100%. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Because it wouldn't be fair to me to go 150% and I'm only getting 75% in return. We have to all be on the same page, baby. See, even Taylor knows. Said Matt. Shame, shame, shame. But we do appreciate Matt for putting in the time and the grind. In return, he gets to drool at the end of the stream for 5 minutes. He said it's worth it. He's just counting the days until Travis and Taylor break up. Make sure you're taking care of your mental health. Very, very important. And again, more effort that's, put in, that ultimately means that, things get better, with likes and subs and donos, and I can give back, and so always keep that in mind too. The harder that you're going to work for me, the more that you're going to get in return, based on the results that we end up getting. I always like to make sure that I take care of everyone the best that I can based on, what I'm getting. So, it would be awesome that I could end up sending you like another duck chain or some duck merch, so I always take care of people. Yes, sir. All right, Paisley's kind of looking at me, giving me the eyeballs now. The same eyeballs that Taylor gives Matt. So I need to be able to take her for a walk and eat some dinner, even though it's late here, 9:38 Pacific. But thank you to everyone that came through, that donated, commented, shared. I love you. Appreciate you. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X. And then we'll be back tomorrow. Let me take a look at the game time for tomorrow. And tomorrow, April 2nd, same time, Guardians and Mariners are going to go at it again. 3-2 Mariners, 3-2 Guardians, 6:40 Pacific, which will be 3:40 Pacific in Hawaiian time for Matt. in the afternoon, and we'll grind it out again. So I appreciate the hard work, Matt, that you put in. Megan, Reflect, Lauren, and all of the goats. I love you and appreciate you. You guys know how much I love you and appreciate you. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well. You guys are awesome. I love you. And I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Okay.